This kid's fire.
What's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother,
Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, man. We are back here with a panel show. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Smash these likes up, man. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well. And the lads' channels are linked in the description. City get a 1-1, but is it a good point? Is it a bad point? I don't know. Depends on what you guys are saying. Loads of different debates going on right now on socials about what people think of the performance. Was it a good performance? Was it a bad performance? And where are we going from here, man? A shout out, Joey, who's back from his trip to speak on Doku. We got Danny, Jay, and Bevel. Martin might join us. He's live on his own channel at the moment. He might join us a bit later on. But yeah, big up for joining me, lads. Joe, let me start off with you, man, because obviously you've not been here for a couple of weeks, man. You've been on your trip. What have you sort of been making of City recently, and obviously today? What are you saying? And obviously you are going to have to speak about Doku as well. You do know that, don't you?
I am. Yeah. Well, we've been good. Like, obviously, this is a week that I think everybody looked at after how we went into the international break and thought this is gonna be fucking grim, because obviously the way that we went in with defeats to Spurs and Brighton, not great. So looking at City, Napoli, and Arsenal, 3 games in 1 week on the horizon after an international break was not ideal. And I think if you'd have offered me 7 points before that, I'd have taken it. I don't really care which way round it goes. I'd have liked, ideally the 6 would have come in the league and the 1 would have been the Champions League personally for me. But I think taking 7 points out of those 3 games, 2 wins and a draw, is great. The performances, I didn't catch the Napoli game because I was actually like flying home as it was on, so I didn't see it. I've seen the goals obviously, but I've not seen the performance itself. But obviously, just going off United and today, it's been really positive. Like the performance we see. Obviously, we'll get into today's performance and how it was a bit sort of very un-City like in a lot of ways. But I think we've seen a lot of character from the team in a way that we maybe weren't seeing it before the international break. I think before the international break, it was kind of looking like we were continuing with a lot of the same problems as last season, which in the first 3 games of the season, if you've seen a lot of that, is a problem, because it just shows that the rest of the season might not be this upturn that we all expected. But Pep's found a team that he's stuck with for this week that seems to be sort of giving us a bit more normal City in that sense. And obviously one of the standout players in this week has been Doku. I can't avoid that forever. And yeah, obviously after 3 games, 1 week, he's now a world-class footballer. He is now permanently. He is now like in FIFA. He has permanently upgraded to an 85 rated player and will never be worse than this ever again. But yeah, no. In all seriousness, though, like this is a level from Doku that I've wanted to see. Like, we've all wanted to see it. Like, nobody wants our signings to not succeed. But what I've been seeing from the last 2 years is that one performance like this week would come like every couple of months, and that's just not enough. And I think that the test for him now will be beyond this week. And obviously, this week has been massive. Like it's been three big games, which is like, if there's any 3 games to do it, the derby, a Champions League game against the champions of Italy, and Arsenal at the Emirates are 3 pretty fucking good games to do it, to be honest. But I just need it to last longer than a week. I need it to be a case of I need it to be a case of this performance level becomes the norm, and what I saw for the last 2 years becomes the once every month or two kind of performance. I want this to be the normal level that we see from him now. And if it is, then great. I said, how many times have I said in this panel show that I'd love to be proven wrong about Doku? Like it's great, and if that happens, then perfect. But I'm not having your Jays and the likes of and other people on Twitter who are acting like we were all wrong for ever doubting Doku because he's had 3 good games. Like, I'm not having it. So it's he's showing promising signs. He's on the right track. But yeah, give me a month or 2 of this before I start to really like reconsider my opinion on Doku like long term, because there's still every chance that he can. If he has 3 shit games, will everybody suddenly decide that he's actually not good enough anymore? Like, no, that's not been the case, has it, for the last 3 years, for the last 2 years. So I'm not gonna go the other way. But it's 3 good games I'm asked. So
why did you give Grealish 2 years then? Why did you give Grealish 2-3 years?
I didn't. I think every time I was questioned on him last season, I said that he needed to be sold in the summer, and he was. So,
he did say that. I can vouch.
Eventually, but it's still 2 years.
Well, yeah, because he. No, I'm not doing it. Right, we've talked about Doku. It's fine. We don't need to. There doesn't need to be a Grealish discussion. He's gone. Let's forget. Jay, I know that you've got this thing about you can't hear the word Doku without the word Grealish coming to your head.
I heard you say my name, so I was just responding, bro.
But yeah, no. It's in all seriousness, like, yeah. If this is genuinely the new Doku, if this is the what he will be going forward, great. But I'm not convinced it is just yet.
All right. Okay. Well, what lads? What do we think about today's result then, performance-wise? Bevel, let me start off with you, bro, and then lads just jump in after that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for 85 minutes, I thought it was all right. We got the early goal, set us in good stead for the rest of the game. Had some decent chances. That ball from Doku to Haaland, I think he should have squared it to Foden. But the vision to play that pass, Doku wouldn't have done that 3 weeks ago, let alone now. So Doku's performances of late have been nothing short of incredible, and long may it continue. I do feel that sort of towards the end of the game, it got to about 60 minutes in, something like that. We brought off Foden, we brought off Haaland. It's almost like we were just setting up to hold on to the 1-0. I don't think that's ever a good thing to do when you 1-0 up. If Haaland would have buried that chance or squared it to Foden and Foden would have buried that chance, I think for me, then you can afford to do that. But being 1-0 up against against Arsenal at the Emirates, I think it was too early to set up and basically try and hold on. I do think that the change at half time, bringing Nunes on for Husanov, I do think that changed the game slightly. I think if we'd have kept Husanov on in the second half, I don't think we'd have set up like that as early as what we did. I think there was a realization quite early that Nunes just can't do it on his own. Don't get me wrong, he didn't look bad today, but
I think he looked all right, bro. I'm having a debate in the moment in my group chat. Yeah, Jay's in my mate's saying he had a shambolic set foot. I can't believe it. I thought Honestly, I thought Nunes did all right, bro.
Yeah, he
I
did
think
all
the
right,
argument was he was fucking falling over.
I was gonna say he was
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
He was playing on rollerblades
He
for the
just
first,
looked
five,
at that.
10
First
minutes.
5 minutes, he
Yeah.
slipped
Yeah.
over twice. Once in a pretty dangerous position as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't.
Do you know what that does?
Slip
That
doesn't
makes
mean he had a
the whole-
bad game, though.
That makes
No,
the
no,
whole
it doesn't.
back four then look a mess though and shaky.
It
and
does,
I think the
and
whole
I
back four just looks stinky.
And I do think that that's why we set up in that way as early as what we did. You know, we're 1-0 up. We're looking a little bit shaky at the back now that Nunes comes on, because he is like Mr. Bozo. Let's just have it right. Every time he comes on, there's a Bozo moment at some point during the game. So I think the choice then was to bring Foden off, to bring Ake on, just to kind of solidify that kind of back five a little bit more. But I do think that had we have kept Husanov on in the second half, I don't think we'd have set up as early as what we did. I do think that kind of changed the game. It was unfortunate that they scored when they did. You know, I think that second half defensively we were really, really, you know, we were quite good in comparison to what I've seen over the last sort of year or so. You know, it's probably one of our better defensive performances I think I've seen. Yeah, it's just one of them. I do feel like it's 2 points lost rather than 1 point gained. But you know, nevertheless, going there last year and conceding 5, to sort of go in there today and actually holding our own for 85 minutes, I can't really complain.
It was just very, very strange. I'm very conflicted. You know, there's a fan on my left shoulder that's shattered that we lost it right at the end, or drew right at the end, and there's an analyst on my right shoulder that said, you know what, probably a fair result, all things considered. I liked how Pep adapted. I liked him sitting a bit deeper. The only issue is we had a lot of times in that game where we literally could not keep control of the ball, and that was an issue for me. It's one thing.
There's no outlet. Yeah.
It's one thing sitting back. It's another thing posing literally no threat on the counter whatsoever, which is why it was so nervy. I'm very surprised he played that way, and I'm equally as surprised that we lasted as long as we did. I think if we'd won, I would have been having different conversations, such as, is it really sustainable to be playing like this in every big game? Because I think if you simulate that game 100 times, we might have had a lapse earlier. We might have crumbled when Husanov was subbed off. I was very impressed that they didn't crumble at the first sign of adversity, which was great. But I don't know. I think it's interesting because if we won this game, I think everyone would be throwing us right back into the title race, saying, yeah, let's go.
That's why it hurts.
But that's the thing. If we'd been in that conversation, I would have said, well, we were actually quite fortunate to win today because Arsenal could have had a couple of them. Donnarumma bailed us out a couple of times, and I don't want to be going into these big games letting the other team have 65% of the ball, because you'll face teams that will score. They'll have players who can shoot from distance.
I don't think this is a long-term strategy.
I don't think it is either.
Like
I don't think it is either. But I'm having less concerns about it now that I don't think there's as many stakes on the line anymore. I think 7-15 is sort of like all right, we may not be in the title race this year, but this week has really righted the ship for us. I don't think we're going to start capitulating every game like we did last year, but I think we're back in the sense that we're good and we're solid, but we're not totally back in the sense that I think we can go on a big rampage and win 10, 12 games in a row. So it's a step forward. There's still a gap between us and the top teams in the league, but definitely a good step in the
When
right
you say top teams, do you mean Arsenal or do you mean
I do mean Arsenal. As much as it pains people to admit it, I do mean Arsenal.
But why though? I find that interesting because we've just gone there. We've just put that performance in.
But again,
narrowly
they
drawn.
executed their game plan very well. They completely penned us in.
Yeah, because
we chose to put 10 men behind the ball all
game. Did we not execute our game plan almost perfectly?
But we did. But surely you'd want to at least have some possession.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, obviously Pep's set up to play in this way today, right? And I think obviously he wants to have a little bit more of the ball than we did, but at the same time, like, we are playing against a good side. And I don't know. I feel like that we were minutes away from coming away with a fucking brilliant win.
Absolutely. I think I'll put it to you this way. I think they're farther along in like their project than we are in our rebuild.
and they still couldn't beat us.
And they still
They
can
still
beat
couldn't
us,
beat
right?
us.
But
And we had no
I-
Cherky, no Marmouche as well.
I think this Arsenal team gets too much.
I think they know better what they want to do than we do. I'm not sure we know how we want
I
to
think
play
it-
yet.
I think in terms of today's like setup and game plan though, like I think half of it you can maybe put on injuries elsewhere on the pitch. Like our bench had fuck all in the midfield, like literally nothing. Like we didn't have any, we had nothing we could bring off. Meanwhile, Arsenal had like pretty much their full squad available to them. I don't know who was missing, if anyone.
Odegaard, I think.
And ultimately we've had 2 days less to prepare for this than Arsenal have, and I think that showed because like everyone. I mean, obviously, part of this is on Pep for playing the same team for 3 days, 3 times in a week, and obviously that's part of that's part of the dice you roll when you do that. But I think with that being the case, we looked very sort of like drained and leggy from like the moment that the second half started to me, and then that
I'll flip this back on you. If we played on the Tuesday and Arsenal played on the Thursday, and Arsenal complained about, we didn't get any rest, would you be saying it's excuses, or would you be holding?
No, because I think it's valid. I think it's fair.
Fair
Like,
enough,
I mean,
fair enough. As long as you keep it
I think that it's undeniable that if you've got 2 days more to prepare for a game of this potential like intensity and stuff, especially with maybe it's maybe different for Arsenal in a way. Like I still would say that it is a valid excuse, but it's maybe different for Arsenal in the sense that they have most of their squad available to them and have more opportunities to rotate people in and out of midfield and stuff. But we don't have that luxury at all. Like our midfield had to stay the same because there wasn't really anything else we could do. And I think that when you've got that problem, and obviously the Kuznov injury coming at half time isn't ideal as well, because that, as Bevo said, it kind of completely changes.
Yeah.
It completely changes the way that we play because we no longer have that recovery pace to stop it. If we commit forward in that second half and don't have Kuznov's recovery pace going the other way, like we're fucked. Like it's the number of counter attacks he bailed us out of in that first half.
We did, yeah.
We couldn't do that for another half of football. So I think that it was more of a. I don't think Pep went into this game thinking, right, we're going to go 1-0 up and then we're going to just absolutely shithouse Mourinho the rest of this game. I think it got to half time. Pep looked at what the realistic options were. Maybe he planned to do that for the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. I don't know. But then he just thought, right, well, Kuznanov's no longer available to us. So we're going to have to do this. Again, as Bevo said, we're going to have to do this at half time instead of on the 70th minute or whatever. And I think that I wouldn't worry about it being like a sustainable sort of like long-term plan, because I think if we come up against, say, Liverpool at Anfield, but we have all but 1 or 2 of our players available to us and not all out through injury, then I think we probably see.
You don't think he's going to sit back? You don't think so?
I think he's shown today that he's happy to sort of play teams on the counter attack, but I wouldn't expect it I'd expect to see something more like what we saw in the first half, where we were very counter attacky, but we weren't just doing what we did in the second half and putting 10 men behind the ball and hoofing it to no one. But I wouldn't expect us to go to Anfield and watch us repeat that second half. No, personally.
Oh no, I think the idea is certainly sustainable. Sit back, hit him on the counter, but there was no hitting him on the counter, and that's what scared me.
Not in the second half, there wasn't.
We could not keep possession, and that's not sustainable. They very well could have scored like 50 minutes in, and it could have been 40 minutes of them trying to find a winner. And then you're in trouble because he subs off Holland, he subs off Foden. There was no way we could have. If they'd scored, then you're fucked. It's 1-1. You're not going to do anything. So
I think that probably comes back again to the sort of fitness levels after having done it 3 times in a week, though. I imagine Haaland and Foden are 2 players who have not. Foden especially isn't going to be like. Isn't at the point where he can play 3 games in a week, probably. I'm amazed Rodri did, to be fair. Rodri probably shouldn't have finished that game for me personally, but he did, unfortunately.
He needed to start. He needed to. If he would have gone off,
it would have been game over. Yeah, I mean, I think annoyingly, I think one of the sort of, I think Arsenal getting possession back sort of half comes off the fact that Rodri can't stretch for a ball in that final couple of minutes because he's dead, like he's dead on his feet, and that's annoying. But it's kind of it's kind of the position we've been put in by the availability of players that we just don't really have at the moment. Nico G's the only change we could have made in midfield, and we did make it. So I'm kind of obviously bringing off Haaland, maybe not the best thing in the world. Some of the substitutions were a bit bizarre, but yeah, I would again to just sort of bring it back to the initial point, I wouldn't expect to see this as like a normal thing for us this year against top teams, personally.
It won't be, especially not at home.
I sound pretty negative right now, but I think this week was an excellent step in the right direction. And I do think in 2-3 months, we are going to look very, very good. We are going to be able to win consistently. But the thing is, as far as the league goes, maybe we're very, very good in January, but maybe the gap then is 12, 15 points. I think later in the season, we can make cup runs. Like I always say, cup runs, they prioritize sort of peaking late in the season. If you're good at the end of the season, you can win cups. You don't have to be good for 38 games. I don't think this team is 38 games good yet, but I think this team is capable of doing excellent stuff, just not at a consistent level yet. So we'll have to see what happens. We have a very, very fine schedule coming up, and I'm expecting us to put some wins together and continue making good
Facts.
steps.
We need to. Yeah. Nah, facts. Go on,
Exactly,
Andrea,
like
what
what
you're
Ash said, what PSG did last season. I think that's the model you have to try and achieve at the moment. Because the league, as much as we want to act like today was a great result, which it sort of was in a way, the league is most certainly an uphill battle now. We're 8 points off. I can't act like we're well and truly in the mix at the moment because 8 points is not.
We're hanging on for dear life.
We are hanging on for dear life. We're not.
And anyone that says anything otherwise is delusional.
Exactly.
It's a
No.
top four season.
And I know Liverpool are going to get another last minute winner again, and people are going to say, "Oh, they're lucky. They get points on the board. We don't get points.
They're winning
on the board
games.
yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we will get points on the board 2-3 months down the line, but will it be too little, too late? I think we're on our last legs right now in the league, but I think in the cups we can definitely improve by January and make runs in that regard. So we'll see what happens. I'm not totally down, but I'm very conflicted.
Go on, Jay. What are you saying?
I'm pissed off, man. Shock.
Here he is.
There we go.
Shock horror. I don't know whether it's just me, but I don't like see what everyone sees in this Arsenal team, especially like without Saka and people like that. Like, I don't know why they're gassed up so much to be like this sick team. Like, they've got a good defense, and they shithoused away to games. But look at the way they play football, mate. They just long throw the ball into the box and try and play for set pieces and corners. So I don't look at this and think, oh, what a fucking draw that is against Arteta's Arsenal. Like, we was 1-0 up and pretty much cruising in this game, in my opinion. No, I don't think they created that much apart from that big Martinelli chance. Like, obviously, Donnarumma made a couple of saves that you probably expect him to make. The Madueke one at the front post, but apart from that, I don't think they fucking created anything. But the thing with me is, I think we've thrown it away again by lack of concentration and lack of game management when it comes to crunch time in the last few minutes of a game. Like, we should have won that game and we'd be talking about how we're going to kick on from here and how we're potentially back in it. But it comes down to like 3 massive mistakes in the last 5 minutes. Reinder's not taking the ball to the corner or sliding Savio in to keep the ball up the pitch and losing possession. Yeah? Then for some reason, we defended deep. Pep Guardiola's made all these changes to bring all these defenders onto the pitch. We've defended deep the whole half beautifully, heading the ball out. No one's really had a sniff. And then with 5 minutes to go, everyone tries to pull the fucking offside trap high line again for some reason. Why did we revert back to that again with 5 minutes to go? When you know their only threat is really in behind when Kuzanov's off the pitch with Martinelli or Saka or whoever running in. So why did we revert back to that with 5 minutes to go? Use your game management. Just drop off 5 yards, man. You've got about 6 centre-backs on the pitch to go and win the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? So why are we trying to play this fucking high suicide line with 5 minutes to go? And this is the problem with City for me. And it is reactionary, I agree. But I'm talking strictly on the 90 minutes that I've just watched here. I'll talk about the whole week as a whole in a sec. But off those last 5 minutes, I see it as City just crumbling again with these brain farts and lack of concentration when we need it the most. And there's just too many guys here that aren't capable of any shithousery or like winning a foul, pretending you're injured for a few minutes. Ake, just fucking drag him down to the floor, Martinelli, if you think he's going to run off you. I just want to see more of that. Do you know what I mean? Well, you see it plenty out of Arsenal and Liverpool and people like that. And I think we've lost our way a little bit with that. But on the whole, on the 7 days as a whole, if you would have said to me a week ago, we would have won the derby, we would have beat Napoli, and we would have drawn against Arsenal away, I would have bit your hand off for it. But right now, obviously, after seeing the game and how it ended, I am. I'm frustrated. I can only say.
I've just got a
I
question
think
for
that's
you.
well
Jake.
harsh.
Just a little question for you. So at the start of all that rant, you gave a really, really good bit of analysis on how Arsenal set up. But the question is, how well do you know Manchester City?
Go on. What?
I'm just going off that absolute
yeah.
stinker, mate.
Let's not go into that silly little game show. We had all the fucking research.
I think that's a pretty harsh way of looking at it, to be honest. I think.
What do you think was harsh, Joe? Do you think?
I think the idea that it was just some like crazy collapse like we've seen over the last 12 months or so, like last season. I don't think it was that at all. I think it's just like, I think funnily enough, then the City Ramble just commented in there basically saying that is what I'm about to say, which is it's just a bit of a mix up between a couple of defenders. Yeah, I agree with you. They probably should have both like stepped off him, give it like a yard or two behind him, so they're not chasing him on the back foot the whole way. I think it is a bit of a dumb decision. And then fucking hell, like Donnarumma doesn't know whether he's like running to the halfway line or to his own goal line. Like
he's got to be called out as well.
It's poor, but it's not like Mateus Nunes like trying to slap the ball out of the sky against Spurs
I agree with
or Brighton or whoever it is. Sorry.
It's nowhere close to the goals we were conceding last.
My issue isn't with just that back four though, and the way they've let it's like 3 mistakes in a row within the space of 10-15 seconds. Whereas if you just use your brain that little bit more, if Reinders and Savio take the ball to the corner, it's eliminated. It doesn't happen. If they use the game management a little bit better, they never get the ball back and they never hit us on the counter-attack. Then you come to your back four who switch off. They do. Ake doesn't track his man, Martinelli. If you think he's going to run past you, drag his fucking shirt back and bring it to the ground. Obviously, then Donnarumma gets stuck in no man's land a little bit. If you're going to come, you need to take the lot with you. If you're going to stay there. And I think Josko's probably covering. So it's not just the one thing where it's a little bit of a mixture. I think there's 3 big moments there where a little bit more like know-how and a little bit cleverer with the way we're thinking to try and close the game out, and I think it can be completely.
I think the know-how was streets ahead of what I thought it would be. I thought we did great.
We did really well.
We did, Danny. That's what frustrates me more though, because we did it for 92 minutes, but then reverted back to this high line trying to play offside again. Why did we not just carry on doing what we were doing? Do you know what I mean? Like I saw us defend deep the whole game and show us a different side of our defending, and I was loving it. And then all of a sudden, we just decide to go back to the old ways again, where we're trying to spring this offside trap. Do you know, rather than doing what had been working the whole game. That's my frustration. And I think it is 3 points lost in the end, based off what I saw in the game on the whole.
For me, I think it's not the same as what happened last year, right? So last year,
100% I agree.
Last year we were crumbling. It was bozo errand. What happened today definitely wasn't that. What happened today, and I don't know why it happened, was just, as you say, unfortunately, we just made a couple of brain decisions that were incorrect, which has cost us. And in a game like this, it is small margins, unfortunately. As Jay said, Reinders should 100% been going down the wing, not inside. He could have played the ball to Savinho. Savinho could have done better. Nico G could have done better. And then maybe Ake tried to play Martinelli offside, which is wild. But, it's small margins. And at the end of the day, if any of those players change and do something slightly different, that goal probably doesn't happen. But it's small margins. But to win a title, it is small margins. You know what I mean? So it's one of them, man. I am a bit gutted with it because I thought the boys put in such good effort. I've not seen the lads fight like that probably since 2 years ago.
Yeah.
If I'm being complete, and I feel like we probably didn't deserve the win based off of the way we played. But I felt like the effort that we gave, we give everything, man. And the players died out there, you know what I mean? And just for a simple thing, like Tijani Reinders is a 27-year-old, you know what I mean? He's come from Serie A, midfielder of the year. Like, he should know, in my opinion, that, like, let's just go to corner flag. It's the 92nd minute. Yes, Savinho, younger, whatever, could do better, but younger. Nico G, again, still trying to find his feet and that. But Tijani's the one where I'm looking at going, come on, bro. Why are you trying to take on 3 or 4 players there? Just go to corner flag, man. I think
part of it for me, in terms of why I'm not quite as down on it, is probably because of as we've already mentioned, like the expectations. Like I'm not going into this. It's not like previous seasons where I've got into this thinking, right, a title's on the line. If this was 2 or 3 years ago and this was make or break for a title, like when we did the treble season, yeah, I'd be throwing things around about that last couple of minutes. But this season, where like we've had a good week, we're coming. It's the final game of a week against three really big sides, and what we've done has just been pretty. We've been really good for 93 minutes, and then we've done something stupid that's kind of meant that we come away with a draw instead of a win. Like, I'm ultimately not thinking we're in title contention sort of territory anyway. Like that makes it very easy for me to sort of not go in too hard on it, but I do kind of take the point that it can feel like it's been a series of shit decision making that has ended up with us conceding a goal when if any one of those 3 or 4 people don't do what they do, then yeah, you're right. It probably means that we don't concede and that we do win. But
you know what as well? That's why I've been saying over the last week, I think, or the last couple of days, I think this Arsenal game for me just come a week or two too soon. Like this is what I said on my preview yesterday. I said, like, I look at our team, and if you put our strong team out there, it's not a bad side. But I just feel that if we would have played, this game needed to be in 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, just where we got a little bit fitter.
If we had like a Burnley and a Brentford before Arsenal,
Burnley, Brentford, maybe another Champions League game on a Tuesday, you know what I mean? Just to up the tempo, and then bang. Unfortunately, it's come when we're still not fully match fit. Yeah, it's come on after we've just played Thursday night football against Napoli. I just think it come a little bit too soon. So, like I say, the point is not a terrible point.
No,
yeah, the way we got the point is gutting because obviously we're 6 minutes away from getting 3 points. But yeah, obviously the next few games are going to be massive. I'll bring Martin in a second. Let me just do these super chats first, guys. Shout out to Showy Man, says Cousinov was immense. We found our Kyle Walker replacement, bro. I'm telling you now, I can't wait for a Huzanov and Gavardiol, man. I want to see that next
year.
That's
a 10-year centre-back partnership as well. And
it's a 10-year centre-back partnership, mate, yeah, because I think that could be super, super special. But for now, just stick him at right back, let him just deal with everything. And then when this club actually decides to buy a right back, he can move into centre-half, man. I think that'll be decent. But he was unbelievable yet again today. Shout out to Nice Guy, says Cousinov going out was huge because with Nunes in, Pep had to make changes for us to be more solid. Chemistry / mentality is better. Need Kovacic, Omar, and Cherky. Yeah, you got to have your squad 100%. And even though I thought Nunes actually had a good game, in my opinion, and maybe I have to watch that second half back, but I thought he had a good game. One thing that I can't deny is that I do think all the players shit themselves when Nunes is playing right back. And with Huzanov there, I don't think they do. So even though I think Nunes played well, yeah, and I completely disagree. People saying he was a shambles. Yeah, I completely disagree. I thought he had a good game. In fact, I thought one of his best right-back performances he's ever had at the club. However, I do understand that he does probably unsettle the other players because they're nervy about him. Obviously, I do get that.
Well, look at that little mix-up between Diaz and Donnarumma off that Nunes pass. They just all look shakier in general, I think. It's like a lack of confidence in them.
It's that
all.
pass again. Yeah. How many times have I said that? When Nunes gets the ball on the right-hand side and he passes
whacks it back.
He's got such shit accuracy. And he's right-footed as well, so it shouldn't really be like that. Shout out to KP, says, cheer up, guys. This is a moral victory. Longer term, this point will be good for the team's mentality. How many times have you seen this team fold? Says KP. Right, spot on. Like we were saying before, the way we lost, the way we drew the game today was not like last year. It was completely different, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up King Kaiser, says need a ball playing right-footed centre back. Love Diaz, but I agree. I think we need a right-sided centre back. Will it be Huzanov? Maybe. Got a big year to prove himself.
Yeah.
If it's not him, go out and buy a big dog centre half. I agree. Shout out to Spartacus, says, I'm happy with the 1-1, but the issue of not having control, you don't need the ball to keep control. You need control space. You need to control the space to control the game. I think for me, you need Reinders to be on it. Until Reinders gets on it, Rodri's been asked to do a hell of a lot of work.
I thought he was better today, to be fair. Obviously, we've talked about his error. We've talked about his, decision making at the end of the game, but I thought most part today he was better than what I've seen in previous weeks. Like, I think it was more like, obviously, it wasn't on the level of that Wolves performance, but it was more like that than the game since then, where he felt like he just kind of not really impacted the games at all. I felt like he actually did stuff today.
He was all right, but he still needs to be better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's not Syria midfielder of the year level just yet.
No, definitely. Shout out JSW says Nico O'Reilly played well. Pep made a mistake with sub Haaland because after that Arsenal went attack. Yeah, Nico O'Reilly, I'm sure we'll speak about him during the show. He was absolutely exceptional today.
Unbelievable.
Exceptional.
Against two very, very good right wingers too.
Exceptional, man. And yeah, I don't know if Haaland was injured or what. Apparently someone in the chat said he has to come off. But yeah, I thought when he went off, we lost that outlet. And then when he took Doku
it was
off
just
the
wave
scene,
after wave after that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, good points, bro. Big up to you, mate. Big up to Jackson says, forget one in the league. This result should give us confidence that we can get results at tough away grounds. That will help us in our Champions League domestic cup, says Jackson. Yeah,
that is exactly where I'm at, pretty much word for word.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't rate Arsenal though, man. Like I watched this Arsenal team get played off the park off United.
No, but again, but
do you know what I mean?
Do you rate the City team right now?
Yeah, but I can't take people glazing this Arsenal team as if they're like the standard. Do you know what I mean?
No,
People make that
the
standard.
They've finished second. They finished second in the last few years. Like, I mean, I know that's a joke that we say about them, but like they are. But they're still. Being the second best team in the league is one of the top teams in the league. Like that can't be denied. Like
they're not the standard, but like they're a lot more sort of stable than we are right now. You know,
before the game as well. Sky.
I don't think you know what you're going to get from us just yet.
We've won trophies more recently than Arsenal have. So
yeah, of course. But before the game, Sky put up the graphic of their record versus like the big six teams, and like they've got a fucking mint record against teams.
What a trophy! What a trophy!
We're not talking. This game wasn't for a trophy. This game was to beat Arsenal, and they're very difficult to beat if you're a top side. That's just a fact.
I'm worried now that we're becoming Arsenal, celebrating fucking drawing against them. I was celebrating drawing against them.
No. It's not about celebrating. It's about recognizing where we are as a football club right now. I used to laugh at that club
for celebrating in draws, man.
We're not celebrating a draw. We are not ready.
A draw
right now. Yeah, Arsenal are better than us. Right. As much as that pains me to say it, they are better than us. Now, what we've done today, we go there and gone, oh, actually, we're not that bad. We're actually pretty decent. We had no Cherky, no Marmouche. We've still got no fucking right back at the football club. Rodri's probably playing at about 60% of his abilities. Yeah, Haaland could only do. We just played on Thursday night, and our record against top six sides stinks. Yeah, 7 wins in 22 before today. So for me, I agree with the super chatter, bro. Like what we've done today is shown that we can go to these gaffs and we can compete again, which last year we didn't fucking do.
I just don't want to slip into that the low standards that.
And what I will say though is when we playing these guys, when we're playing these teams at home, and when we're playing, later on in the season when we're fully fit, no excuses. Then I just feel like I just feel this game came a week or two too soon. 4 more super chats, then we'll bring Martin in. Shout out Jace says, for once I agree with Luke Shaw.
Go on, lad. That's what we want to hear.
Big up Reese says. Someone should have rugby tackled Martinelli and took the ban v Huddersfield. Probably,
Facts.
Yeah. Probably. Shout out Adam says, why was Huddersfield not subbed off? Injured, apparently. Injured, which is a bit annoying.
Got stood on, didn't he?
Yeah, he got stood on. Big up KP says, would you guys still be disappointed if we were the ones scored the equaliser late in the game? Before the game, many fans think, nah, but that's not how the game turned out, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
You can't do that. You've got to just say what happened. What happened was we was 1-0 up. And with 6 minutes to go, we was about to win, and then we drew the game.
I think the most acceptable progression of events that could have happened is if we just allowed a goal in the 60th minute or something. That's just fair enough.
Yeah, I would have
exactly neutral.
Nah, Depo. All right, Martin. Let's
come on.
Let's bring in Martin. Okay. Martin, what you saying,
Give us some
mate?
Positivity.
How are we winning the league, mate?
Calm down, Hamza. With your standard. Jesus. Listen. You just said it. I think the way we've conceded and when we've conceded is clouding everyone's opinions on the whole game. That's my honest opinion. I get it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't. All this take the card. We cannot afford suspensions right now. Have you seen our bench?
I can afford one for Ake.
I can have Ake.
No, we can't when 8 goals out.
The suspension carries over the house. You can afford that.
Who are you going to play at left back? You going in at left back?
Rico Lewis. If you said to me now,
no one wants Rico
are you
Lewis
basically saying that you would rather have drawn the game rather than won 1-0, but Ake gets sent off?
Well, is it a marathon or a sprint?
Oh no, you can't.
Nah, you got
it.
We're taking the red card.
Sorry,
we're taking the red card.
Table 5 games in. Simple fact.
Martin, Consider the red card. The red card
rather
for Huddersfield.
draw than lose Ake.
Not for a
No,
league
if
game.
it was a straight red, it'd have been a 3-game ban.
No, but you saw Sanchez.
No, it depends. It depends what the straight red's for, whether it's a 3-game ban or not.
And two of them would have been Huddersfield and Burnley. So, like, Ake out.
No. I understand that, but this take the red. We've got academy kids on a bench, and we're saying take reds.
Nah,
Yeah,
but if the option's there to take the red, I'm not even speaking about the Ake thing because I just think like I'm more pissed off.
I find that crazy.
Mate, if it was Haaland, I would have said take the red. Fucking wipe him out.
You do know Haaland had actually had a bit of a knock at that point. Now, because here's the other thing. I've said this on mine. Pep's damned if he doesn't, damned if he doesn't. Haaland stays on and gets injured and he's out for 4 weeks. Everyone's going to go crazy at Pep for not taking him off. He already said on Thursday Doku was close. So that's why Doku had to get off. We are literally, you got to remember, you've no Mamouche, no Cherky, no Ain't Nori. Stones has literally just walked back in. We are ravaged with injuries at the minute. And it is what it is. We can't afford more injuries.
On Thursday, though, Martin. Do you not think he should have rotated on Thursday then to eliminate this? Because I did think they looked leggy today.
No, because I'll be honest with you, I don't rate the bench, Jay.
Right.
I'm kind of with you. I'm
not being funny. I'm not looking at that bench. I think Oscar Bob is going to be a great player, but Arsenal away, not ready. Sorry, but he's not.
I agree.
I don't know if he would have won on Thursday if we'd
I don't want to go back into where I was last season when I'm bringing the academy off the bench. That was the mistakes we were making last season. I.e. Feyenoord, 3-0 up. I like this at the minute because I'm sorry, it is what it is until we get players fit and we get them back. Everyone goes, by the way, I thought Nunes, I'm with you, LB, I thought Nunes actually was pretty damn good when he came on. It was an error. It was an error. And I think considering we just come out the toughest week we've probably had in the situation we're in, yeah, I'm more upset because of the time we conceded the goal. But I thought we were dealing with corners absolutely fine, which was one of Arsenal's strongest points.
Yeah.
I thought we were dealing with it. I've got Ruben Diaz back all of a sudden since Donnarumma's come in. Kushyanov, just sad with the injury. There's nothing you can do with that.
I doubt that'll be anything serious, though. He'll get stunned.
Well, he's got a scan tomorrow. So they think it's all right. Hopefully, it needs to be all right. Rodri, Foden, and Haaland are now going to get a couple of days off.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, and this could all turn around next week. Arsenal want to go to Newcastle away, and we've got Burnley at home.
And
then you're right back in it again.
No, but the thing is, it's not about Arsenal. It's about Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm not really bothered about that.
No, we can do it until Liverpool start dropping points. We've just got to keep winning now. Until Liverpool start dropping points or until we play them.
We need 9 points in the next.
No, that's true. We're not in a position right now where we should be scoreboard watching. We should be watching our own results because we're not. Yeah. We're not in the mix just yet.
It's like Pep said, we're not. You got to remember. I know everyone's got PTSD on last season, but this season is about sort of building, getting it back. And listen, if we can be 6 points, 3 points behind with 3, 4, 5 games to go, right, and then we can go. I'm seeing a lot of positives. I'm saying I was a massive issue with Pep Linders for the first 2 or 3 games. I was like, I'm not sure what. Now I'm seeing it. Because the way we played today is exactly how I would love us to go and play at Anfield away. We've not had enough shithousery for the last 2 years. We've said we've become quite a bit of a soft team. And to any Arsenal fans, there's a massive difference between defending a lead and defending a draw. We were defending a lead there away at one of the title contenders. We don't go and can start low blocking up at 0-0. For everyone who says no one's scared of us, he went out with 3 CDMs today.
No, I hear it.
People are saying there's no fear in us. Of course they fear.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, so I agree with you about that. You just got to stay in there, yeah? You can't win the league game.
You just got to stay in there and see where we are.
Right, so these are our fixtures, basically, right? We play Liverpool in 6 games. In my opinion, if we're talking about the league, so for the people that are not talking about the league, if you're talking about top 4, I'm not having a conversation with you because I'm talking about the league, right? It's a completely different kettle of fish. So I'm talking about the league because I want to win the league. If I'm talking about winning the league, I think you have to win all 5, then you have to beat Liverpool, and you're probably going to have to go St James's Park and win that one as well. So I'm talking about 7 wins here, man. And I'm sorry, but and people will be like, "Nah, that's ridiculous." But if you've already dropped points in the first 3 games, you have to reclaim those points on Liverpool somewhere. And if you drop points before the Liverpool game,
you can practically say goodbye to it. Yeah,
you can practically say goodbye.
I think that's the point, though, isn't it? Like because I know that you're saying that that's what we have to do to win the league, but I think the point that I'm making, and probably the point that people who would say we're not in the league conversation, is that we don't look like a team. We don't look like a team that will do that. Like we don't like a team
that's my point. That's my point.
We don't look like a team that will win the next 7, including Liverpool and Newcastle away. Like currently, like obviously we're quite fortunate that Burnley have just been newly promoted. Brentford is shit. Everton will not have their best player because he's ours at the moment.
Villa can't score.
And Villa look crap as well.
They have a new manager by then.
Exactly. So like, so like when those are very fortunate fixtures, but then if we do win those, and let's say we do beat Bournemouth, does anyone think we're gonna beat Liverpool at home? Does anyone think we're gonna beat like?
Well, I think the next 5 games.
Yeah.
Would you have said we'd have got undefeated this week?
No, to be fair, but I think, and the other side of this is that we've played 5 games and 3 of them have been Spurs, United, and Arsenal, which is pretty.
Yeah, that's my point.
That's a tough first 5 games of the season. So there is obviously that side of things as well, which 7 points out of that doesn't look so horrendous when you put it in that spin of things. So yeah, it's possible, but then you're also relying on Liverpool dropping a lot of points as well, and I'm not.
Because I honestly, right now, Liverpool are kind of doing what we did at the start of last season. They're not playing great, and they're storming wins.
No.
I don't agree with this. Liverpool are playing breathtaking.
It's not the same. It's not the same as what we were doing last year. We should have been actively losing football matches, yet we were winning.
So should they?
No, I disagree.
Martin, they've been playing really good teams. They've been playing good teams too. They played Newcastle away. They've played.
Yeah, they should have lost. Hang on, they should have lost at Newcastle.
But wait a sec, yeah. Even if Liverpool don't drop any points in the next 5 matches, wait a sec, right? Even if Liverpool don't drop any points in the next 5 matches, so long as we win our next 5, which everybody's in agreement, we have to do if you want to win the title. Yeah. If you beat Liverpool there, you bring it back to 8 points anyway. So you bring it back to 5 points anyway. So suddenly you're within 5 points, and that's what everybody's saying. Don't keep it at 5.
And another thing is, what's stopping Liverpool from improving? We're acting like they're not. We're acting like this is their peak.
That's my concern.
They could get better.
No, I'm not saying they can't do it, but why are we always thinking? Why can't we go the other way? I think you never know. It can go the other way.
They will drop points. Absolutely.
It can.
I'm sorry that they are wide open at the back. Absolutely wide open.
I agree.
They are being bailed out by last-minute winners.
We're getting defensively stronger. We've got the best striker in the world. And I'm sorry, this system is now actually bringing him into the game more. He's not a statue anymore.
We're
now getting him involved. Yeah. Jeremy Doku, Pep Linders is where, because what he's not thinking about, he's doing it all on instinct, and he's using his speed now, and he's using it in the right way. He's been phenomenal. Doku today was a great outlet. It was just shame they both just come off 90 minutes in a week. That I think they just hit the end button.
Yeah,
winning free kicks like a prime Jack Grealish.
Yeah. The trouble is, you look who we're bringing off the bench. That's the problem. In an ideal world, Mamouche is coming on for Doku, or he's coming on for Haaland. Cherky's coming on for a Foden. We haven't got them options right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but we will do after the international. Like I said, for me, it's just keep close. I'm seeing massive improvements right now. If I hadn't seen improvements, I'm with you, Jay. But I am seeing massive improvements.
I have seen that.
Keep criticizing Diaz. Since you've gone after Diaz, he's listening. He's improving. So
and
keep doing it.
I agree. Yeah. Well, I told you they both clearly watched the panel, because since I've been saying this for the last 3 months, their form has gone through the roof, mate. So they've listened to me, right? So put some
Doku doesn't watch the panel. If Doku's watching the panel, he's been ignoring me for the last 2 years.
It's like Pep said after the game. At the minute, it's about the togetherness, not about the results. Performances, togetherness, showing that team ethic that was not there last season. We had nothing. Our coaches had switched off. Pep had switched off. The players just didn't want it. Everyone had given up. Now I'm seeing players that are hungry and they want it, which I never thought I'd see.
Nah, I hear it, man. This is the fixtures, by the way. If we add in
Champions League.
the Champions League, so you've obviously got Huddersfield on Wednesday, which anyone that started the game today probably shouldn't be in the starting 11.
That's why you use Savinio, Nunes, Calvin.
Yeah,
Phillips.
Bob. Get Bob back in there.
A full new 11.
Full new 11. Absolutely. You got Monaco there in the Champions League after the Burnley game. You got Villarreal, and then you got Dortmund. So it's only four games extra.
Those Champions League games are pretty kind, aren't they? Really, like there's no we haven't got Real Madrid.
Yeah, Real Madrid or anything
like that. And we've got, if you look at the Liverpool game as well, Joe, we've got Dortmund home on the Wednesday and then the Sunday on the one.
We don't go. Is it January, December? When do we go?
Let me check what Liverpool have got.
Liverpool have got United, Chelsea, and all sorts in the next few.
Let me see what they've got. Liverpool.
They've got if they've got a tough run before that game against them, that could be huge. That game at the Etihad as well, and it's at home as well, so there could be big pressure on that game for them as well.
They've got Real Madrid,
Frankfurt, fucking Real Madrid, before
Real
us
Madrid on the Tuesday. So they've got a day off, but they play Real Madrid on the Tuesday.
Is that United game? Is it at the Swamp or at Anfield?
Anfield.
Easy win.
Haven't we got Real Madrid
win
before Liverpool though?
Sorry, Bev, what you saying, mate?
Haven't we got Real Madrid the game before?
No, we got Dortmund.
Real Madrid.
That's what Real Madrid think here, Bebo.
Yeah, no, we got Real Madrid in October.
Wow, who just sniped Bevo, man, for saying that?
Yeah, I don't know. He said he's got power. It
was one of those Nico O'Reilly throw-ins from the first half.
I think I like the idea. Obviously, I'm personally one of these guys who's not thinking about the title this year, based on the fact that we're coming off the back of last season, and we're gonna see improvements as we have seen since the international break. But we've got a while to go before I think we're sort of looking at being as good as even as Danny said earlier. We didn't look fluid with the ball today at all. I know after half time that was completely and totally the game plan to not really have much of the ball, and that's fine. But in the first half, we weren't exactly free flowing possession. We've not really looked like that at all this season, apart from Wolves, in my opinion. It's been a struggle to watch. And as much as this last week has been good, let's not forget that before the international break, the Spurs and Brighton games were just as shit as last season's performances, in my opinion. They were pretty bad. And I'm not saying that we're definitely going to see that again. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility that a couple more performances like that are on the horizon in the next month or so before that Liverpool game. I think we could be in a position by the time we get to Liverpool where we're even more points behind them than 8. In which case, if that does happen, which I hope it doesn't, but if that does happen, then we're fucked. And at that point, whatever happens at Liverpool doesn't matter. But I just kind of think that I'm just not there. At the moment, I'm just personally mentally just not there to even think about a title race this season. I'm very much just in if we get top 3 or even top 2, great. But I'm not thinking that we should be up there.
I can't. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't be on that, bro. I think we've got to be thinking about a title race, man. Do you know what I mean?
I want the squad to. I want Pep and the team to. But as a fan, I'm not because of what we've got, because of the rebuild that we've just had to do, and how much we've had to change, and how many of the the players that have done it for us in the last 4, 5, 6 years are no longer core parts of our squad. For me, it's just personally that I just don't see that this season.
And I've seen some people say when there's no way we're in a title race, but for me, I'm just if we've got to be in a title race, man, you can't spend 300 million and not be in a fucking title race.
This is why the game pissed me off so much, because we were 4 minutes away from being full on in a title race. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If we come away from the Emirates today with a 1-0 win, imagine the conversations that we'd be having as fans. Instead of,
I just think 5 games. I mean, bloody hell, Bournemouth talking about a title race. The 3rd.
Nah, but they know.
Put it in perspective a little bit. We've never done this after 5 games. Start talking about in and out of title races. Because
The
we're
problem is
normally
'cause
the
we're hanging
team.
on by a thread. We
But
know.
we're normally the team 8 points behind with 5 games to go, turns it around.
I mean, we were 8th at Christmas like 5 years ago. I
This is what
remember.
I mean. It's,
Fully turned it around.
remember, we started crap in the treble season.
Yeah. No.
I
But
remember
you can't
after
say
the
you can't say that and just say, right, well, that means that we're definitely going to be mint this season.
No,
because we've
I'm
got
not
shit
saying
first,
that.
like...
But I think we're writing them off way too soon.
Not writing them off.
I'm not-
So my point
it's-
is, Martin, is if you know, and we all know on this panel, and everyone in the chat knows, that to win a league, you basically can't lose more than 5 games in a full season. Because if you look at the historical league tables, very, very rarely a team wins the league if you lose more than 6 games, right? So we've already lost 2. So let's say the max we can win the league with is 5 losses. So we've only got 3 more losses in the bank. And we've still got to play 30-odd games, and one of them's Anfield away, right? Which we know normally what happens
Liverpool
there, right?
twice, yeah.
We've got to play
But
Liverpool
we don't
twice.
normally play like this. No, we go and play
Well,
like we did.
no,
today.
I know, but
Yeah.
for 20 years we've played loads of different styles of play.
Even,
Anfield, it
yeah,
never really
even
works.
when we were getting 100 points, like we still played like shit against.
The point is I'm not saying we're out of the race. I'm saying that I still fucking think we're in the race. The point I'm saying is we can't afford to drop any more points in these next
I
5
get it.
games.
I'm just one of them. If that had been away in the Champions League in a quarter final, we're taking that result.
Well,
knowing how
yes,
much
because Martin, it's 2. That's
100%.
2 games. This is like
But we've got 2 games.
it's
Got
38
Arsenal, yeah.
games. We've dropped points in 3 of 5. So the margin for error is done. Like it's close to done. It's very, very slim now. That's the issue.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
No,
I know
We were
I know what you
undefeated.
mean.
We were undefeated till November last season. It fell apart.
I get
so.
I
Yeah,
get
I'm
that.
not
I
gonna do
completely-
that either.
I completely understand the point of like I completely understand the point of you can't make any sort of sweeping statements after 5 games or anything like that. But I don't, if what LB's there said is true, is that and that we've basically lost a third of the games that we can possibly lose all season after
go.
5. Well, there you go. Average is 4 losses, so we've done half of the losses we can possibly do after 5 games. I'm personally not looking at this team as it currently stands and thinking you're not going to lose more than 2 games this season from here on out to the end of the season in the league. Like, I'm beyond that personally.
Because I know many teams have come from the dead to win the league. In 2012, we were far behind. 2014, far behind. Even 2019, etc., we were very far behind. But those teams, I could trust them to go on win streaks. This one, I don't know what I'm going to get. It's a bit of a mystery bag at the moment. So,
Which is what the good news is, we'll fucking find out in the next 4 weeks. Because for me, if we drop any points before the Liverpool game in the league, I'm calling
curtains.
it. I'm calling it. So then
that's the
it's
difference. Last season we were flopping against the lower teams.
yes. That
Now,
was when
we don't beat Burnley, Brentford, and all them. Then you know, right? This has changed.
You've got to put a streak together now, especially going into that Liverpool game.
Facts.
It's so
Okay,
important.
But here's where I am though. As negative as I've been today, if we beat Burnley Brentford, I don't want to hear it's only Burnley Brentford because we've beaten United, beaten Napoli. We can.
No, but you're always going to get that.
No,
You know why some of the worries here, because the worry for this season is not on this season. It's on what happened last season is why everyone's got the worry of.
Because if you beat Huddersfield, Burnley, Brentford, you've suddenly won 5 of 6 with a draw at the Emirates, and that's very, very good.
6
That
games
is-
unbeaten.
For me, I'm going to be. I'm just doing what Khaldun said. I've turned a page on last season. It's a new chapter. I'm going again. I've forgotten last season.
Yeah,
I'm doing exactly what our chairman has told me to do. Forget it. Move on.
I'd like to,
That's
but
where I
Brighton
am.
was literally a carbon copy of last season's Brighton
It's
game.
Spurs,
Like it's
Spurs
Spurs
Brighton
and
that I keep thinking
Spurs
about, yeah.
Spurs and Brighton. Our 2 defeats were very last season-ish, and it's not like last season is just gone and forgotten. I know this has been a good week, but last season is not so far away, and performances like last season, as Spurs and Brighton were, are not so beyond the realms of possibility to this team anymore that I can definitely say. You know, like Danny just said there in the past, like in, the 18-19 season, like basically most of the title winning season we've had under Pep, I would look at Burnley, Brentford, Bournemouth, Villa, and whoever the other team is, Everton, and go, 5 out of 5, we should be winning.
But
that.
you're now
Easy.
doing what you said you shouldn't do 2 minutes ago.
Which is
You're jumping into the conclusions.
but it's not conclusions. I'm not saying we definitely won't win. I'm just saying that if I was to look at our current performances and say, will we lose more than 2 games this season based on what I've seen so far? I'm probably saying yes. And I don't think that, and I think that ultimately,
maybe it's me. I think Tottenham may agree with Brighton. I just think it was down to I think we were just knackered. I've said this to you, LB, privately. I think the one pre-season game will come back.
It's
fucked.
Yeah.
It's messed us up a bit. We're just not quite there.
That's part of the Club World Cup's fault as well.
Wow,
that's kind of
it's weird how everyone's suddenly getting major injuries that have come out of that Club World Cup as well, isn't it? Everyone's suddenly dropping like flies that were in that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But these next 5 games, yeah, you know what I mean? We got to win the next. But for me, you got to win the next 6 because I think you have to beat Liverpool. You got to take. You can't be begging other teams to take points off Liverpool. You got to beat Liverpool yourself. So I think for me, quite simple. I think you got to win your next 6 games. I'm looking at on paper. The thing is, for me, I look at this week. We've got to use this week as a momentum builder. It's been a decent week, yeah. We were two wins, Champions League United. We got a draw today. You know, everyone agrees that there are signs of progress. We're still not at our best, but if we can take this into the next couple of games, spiral some sort of momentum there, and then hopefully, if we can win all the games before the Liverpool match, we can go into that Liverpool match confident, and in a one-off game, we can beat Liverpool in a one-off game. Yeah, you beat them, you bring it back to 5 points at a bare minimum. That's on the assumption that Liverpool have won every single one of their games, which of course they might not do. And we're back within 5 points of them again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, by the way, yeah, when we get to January, I don't think we will sign anybody in January, but we'll only be a month away from the transfer window. Maybe you could go in for a right back. Yeah, maybe going for if you've got any emergencies, going for an emergency player, bring somebody in. We can maybe do something in the transfer window in January as well, man. So, we got to use this week. Yeah, it's been a decent week. Not an amazing week, but it's been a decent week. Some signs of progression. Yeah, we got to use this now as momentum and put together a winning streak. For me, we drop any points before Liverpool, and Liverpool don't fall off, which I doubt they will do.
And I'll be very much micro-analyzing the performances because these are 2 games we should probably win pretty handsomely. All due respect, you should be beating Huddersfield pretty handily.
We need to. I would a statement as well.
I don't want to be arrogant, but I would like us to put a few past Burton. To really show that we're in a good spot right now.
Especially at home.
Yeah. What'll be intriguing with Burnley is how we deal with the low block. I want to see how we deal with that.
Sure, but we dealt with the low block against Napoli.
Yeah, it was different though because they had 10.
Stick Doku in cam and just tell them to take players on again.
This is where I want to see a Pep Linders now. How you deal with the low block with your wingers.
No, we've seen the good performances. I just want them to be replicated now.
You got to go all out. Doku, Savio, Foden in the 10, play attacking wing backs, and just get as many people pitch as possible.
Watch Karl Walker have a man of the match performance now next week.
Doku will spin him out. Doku will cook him, man. I'll be real.
No, I'm just saying, it will be typical City. Literally, Walker comes back. And
I don't actually want Doku on. I want Doku in. Let me do these super chats, and we'll come on to Doku in a minute because we need to do it. I know we spoke about a little bit about it at the start with Joe, but we need to do some glazing. Shout out to Benno, says long train nearly home. Tarquin's head completely fell off outside the stadium, proper crying about time wasting and parking a bus. Yeah, man, it's pretty funny that they're moaning about us time wasting in it. You know what I mean? I'm parking a bus, but that's what they've done for the last few years. But yeah, man, I think they're going to be few. Although to be fair, I did see some AFTV clips going around chat of them celebrating the draw. So
I was going to say before when Jay was talking about celebrating a draw, like AFTV literally did celebrate a draw. Like
they celebrated a draw.
Well, that shows their levels, and that's what I don't want to be.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Well, Pep mentioned it in his post-match press conference that like ultimately today's today's point is a point more than we got last season, which means that from Arsenal's point of view, it's 2 points less than they got last season.
Funny you
but
say
they're
that.
still treating this like a good result, which is mad.
Funny you say that because our mate Joe, he sent us a message in it, Jay, in the chat, and said we're actually 4 points up on the same fixtures from last season. Because we beat Wolves, we beat United, and we got a draw today.
Did we lose? We lost to Spurs, didn't we, last year?
Yeah, we lost to Spurs, lost to Brighton.
Yeah, then again, weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5, all 4 of those fixtures we lost last season. So the bar isn't especially high. But
but I'm just saying if you're comparing like
the direct fixture.
No, I think he means comparing it to Spurs, Brighton, Arsenal.
No, I know, but we literally got 0 points in those 4 fixtures last year.
To me, I'm not celebrating the draw. I'm celebrating the mentality that I didn't see last season.
Sure. No, that's totally
what I'm celebrating. I'm seeing the spirit back.
Yeah.
That's
I
fair
see
enough.
as well.
Last season, there was naught to work with. And that's why I was so calm, because by December, I'd already given the ghost up anyway. But it was what it was. You know, why I didn't give it, why people going, it was done. It was over. But I'm now seeing something right. I can see changes, life signs. So I don't think we'll ever do United. We'll never do an Arsenal, because we will correct errors. They haven't.
That first. Big up, Benno. Big up, nice guy. Says Doku looks comfortable in the midfield. We're going to come on to that in a second, brother. 1 second. Yeah, big up, bro. A big up, Twist. Says the fact you're all defending those tactics shows how far we've fallen. That was like watching Stoke parking the bus because we don't have the players. But I low-key agree with this, though, in the sense that, like, the reason we played like that today is because we don't have the players. But is that not better that Pep is adapting and trying to get us a win by playing to the players' strengths?
I'd rather we did that.
If we would have stuck to Pep's usual style of play, then we would have had a repeat of last year, where we end up conceding 2 in the last.
You do realise the last time we won at Arsenal was playing negative, possessionless football.
Yeah, but the whole
we
point
had 33% possession last time we won there 3-1.
One of the problems, is that last year, and Pep, was playing the players and trying to play sick football.
High press, high line.
Not good players. And he didn't adapt. And I guess that's one of the reasons why, he come under a lot of pressure from some City fans, But now he's adapting. And what have I been saying over the last couple of weeks? Pep is taking each game one at a time and adapting. United played completely different time. Played against Napoli, played completely different. So he's adapting every game. I agree, but we all know this, bro. We all know that Nunes at right back is not as good as Kyle Walker at right back. We all know that Doku and Savio are not as good as Mahrez and Sane and Sterling, right? But the fact is, Pep is trying to get us results with the players that we've got. And this is why next summer, I've already said, #no to projects, we need proven ballers at this football club next summer. Yeah? Because that's how we get back on top. And then next year, maybe.
I'm sick of going to Anfield playing pretty football and coming away with nothing.
Yeah, let's go to Anfield and
Sorry, I don't care about this pretty football anymore. Pretty football won't win you out.
Sure, but I want some sort of attacking intent, because, like I said, I really didn't like
that. We had the best chances today.
We could not string passes together, and that really, really got to me.
We had the best chances today.
That first half, we didn't leave our half after the goal.
I think right. So I think what you need, if you're going to play that system,
disagree with that. Randy's had a chance.
No,
I said, aside from that, Randy's chance.
Wait a sec. So I think what you need if you're playing that system, right? You need a Bruno Guimaraes type player instead of Reinders, because what I think you need in that system is you need to win your second balls, right? Because you go long, you're going direct more. Now, I don't think Reinders played shit today, but he's not really a guy that really gets in and battles in them duels and shit. So I think in a game like that, you need somebody like a Bruno. Who that is, you buy in, or Nico can do it. I don't think he can, but maybe you buy somebody in. I think you have to have Foden in the 10, and then you need a quality right winger that can get you up the pitch. So I think that's what you need to look for. So you need to look for basically an Elise-style right winger, someone that can hold the ball, like a Mahrez, but can also get you up the pitch and create. You need a 10, right, which we didn't really have today because Foden was sort of like drifting out wide. And then you need a ball winner in midfield.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think you can play Reinders and Foden in the same midfield, in my opinion. In like against
in a game like
top sides, anyway. He just doesn't have that bite or like speed to be able to defend in transition for me, Reinders.
Fucking belabor, mate.
Yeah, people like that, they were walking through us a little bit too easily in that second half for me. And the midfield was a little bit non-existent with Reinders and Bernardo in there. Obviously not the quickest, not the most physical. So, but then again, I agree with that.
Then again, I talked about not stringing passes together. I don't think Balaba's going to help that at all. He's not very
it's not necessarily about stringing passes together. It's about you accept that we couldn't even get the ball at times today, Danny.
Yes.
So exactly. So if you have one of the reasons is, and again, I'm not trying to hate on Reinders. I'm just saying that I don't think he suited that style today, because what you need is you need somebody in that midfielder. You need someone in that midfield to be able to win the ball on the second duel. And win the ball and get the ball. But Reinders can't do that. So you need a Bruno.
The one there. Someone's just
Tonali, Bruno, Baleba, basically anybody that can put in a fucking tackle in midfield. Then you put Foden in the 10, and then you get a quality right winger. Once you've done that, cool. But it's very important you get those top players.
And you're going to hate me for saying this. You're really going to hate me for saying this, but maybe one of them wingers needs to be good at ball retention.
Yeah, Olise.
Sure. We never gave Morris enough credit. He scored goals and he never lost the ball. He was an alien. He was an absolute
Not
unicorn.
fucking all of us. Yeah, come on, bro.
Some of us were giving him the credit.
Yeah. But yeah,
well, that's basically what we need. Because if you think about it today, right? Yeah, you had obviously you had Foden on the wing, right? But he's not rapid, yeah. So he can't get you up the pitch. I know he wasn't on the wing the whole time, right? But he was drifting out wide at times, right? So he can't get you up the pitch quick because he's not quicker, yeah. Then Reinders is, he just was getting lost and wasn't really winning those duels, man. So that's what I think this club needs to look for in the summer, and this is why I've been going towards the Belabor style. I'm not saying it has to be Belabor, but this is why I've come away from Adam Wharton towards
a Fernandinho, man.
Someone that can win the ball in the midfield. And then for me,
Well,
the right winger.
We're going to need homegrown.
Yeah, I was going to say the
homegrown
factor would be a problem.
I did the maths on it, man. I'm pretty sure we're chilling,
No, because don't forget, Kushinov and Semenyo will go into the foreign squad next year.
Yeah, but I swear I did the maths and we were
You're going to lose Stones.
Stones and Ake probably go.
Exactly. Right, I'll do it now. So you got Donnarumma. Right, this is non-homegrown. Right, so you got Donnarumma, yeah, Gvardiol, Diaz, Huzanov. We're saying Ake's going, yeah? Ake's homegrown anyway, don't matter. Rodri, Reinders, Nico G. I'm saying Nunes is getting sold next year, so I'm just putting that one out there because he won't stay. Kovacic, I reckon, will be sold as well. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kovacic is gone. Bernardo's going. You agree with that?
Probably. Yeah, he's going to Benfica.
Yeah. Jeremy Doku, Savinio, Cherky, that's 10. Haaland,
Mamouche.
11. Mamouche, 12. You can have 17. So we're fucking calm, bro.
You included your goalers?
Yeah, Donnarumma. Trafford's homegrown.
Oh, you'll lose Trafford as well.
Yeah, Trafford's not staying.
All right, and let's just say Trafford goals, we get a non-homegrown player in 13. You still got four. Well, you've got three players that you can buy, and that's on.
He'll probably bring in a foreign goaler. I don't think he'll try it. Unless I don't think they're going to get.
I've just done that though in the maths. I've just done that. So you still got what's that? 3 that we can have. Three non-homegrown. Elise. Oh, Elise's homegrown.
Elise's homegrown. Liverpool's homegrown.
He doesn't have a release clause though, apparently.
Someone said he doesn't have a release clause on the table. Go and get Elise, go and get Trafford, yeah, and then go and get a midfielder. You're chilling. I'm telling you now, homegrown ain't a problem next year. No way. It's not a problem, man. Not a chance. But that's what we need anyway. That's what you need, them sort of players that you need. Bro.
What is a problem by the sounds of things is this is another conversation, but what is a problem by the sounds of things is the number of players we're getting rid of versus the number that we have to bring in. That's like you're bringing in like 7 players into the transfer.
But basically going to go finish off. It's going to be
we're doing another 400 million transfer window at this rate. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, but that's what they are doing because they neglected the squad for 2 years. Yeah, this is the punishment now, which is why I've said the club should make a policy of you've got to buy fucking baller every single summer instead of fucking about. Because when you let the squad drop, you have to spend to get it back up there. This is why when you're at the top, you've got to just maintain. As soon as you go, well, you know what, this year we're just going to sign Nunes, and the next year we'll sign Savio and fucking Gundogan. Your squad goes like that, and then all of a sudden you got to fucking spend to get back up. Maintenance, bro. House maintenance, mate. You don't maintain your house falls down, you're fucked. Yeah, just keep things ticking over. And that's what you need to do. Yeah, trust me, man. Next summer, we need another 300, 400 million spending on this squad.
Get that new bathroom.
I personally, I think they'll. Well, did you see that Rihanna interview?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it. I watched it. Yeah.
Power and more physicality now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go for physical power players.
Well, yeah, we don't have enough of them.
Yeah.
You even see it in the academy. Some of the younger players in the academy are tending more towards physical, tall, strong players as opposed to left-footed attacking midfielders who are 2 foot tall. So there's even a shift there. So I don't know. I
think Joe's spot on. I think we're going to end up with another crazy window because if Oscar Bob's not playing again, he'll be asking questions next summer. There's a few that
Savio might still want to leave.
Exactly.
I don't care about players wanting to leave. I do not give 2 Fs.
Yeah, but if it means we need to end up signing 9 players as a result, then that might be a problem.
I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, right? Yeah, we got to do what's got to be done.
But that's why I think we will find because in the summer with a World Cup, it's going to be 10 times harder with a World Cup going on.
Oh my God, yeah, I didn't even think about
that.
Who
are we going to buy? What position?
This is why I do think there will be stuff in January.
What position are we going to buy?
Well, I don't know, but all the players we'll be looking at will be in America, and then you sat there going, "Well, we'll have to wait for them to get back."
I just don't see. Yeah, well, I shout out Jay as well, man. I just don't see what position we would buy in January, because the right back thing, we wouldn't buy a right back. No. The problem is with that, I can't understand the logic of us buying a right back in January, because if there's a right back that they want to buy in January, why don't they just buy him in the summer?
I don't know why, but I've got a feeling they're going to move for Gay before Liverpool get involved in the summer. I
hope so.
Think they're going to wait for the summer and we'll go, because we think Gay will be the Stones replacement.
Yeah,
it would be a smart signing.
And will Crystal Palace, we go in at say 35-40 and Liverpool say we'll wait till the summer, get him on a free, Palace ain't going to turn down 40 million quid in Jan.
Yeah,
they're not.
Rather than 6 months.
They're not, but I don't know if I want him starting ahead of Huzanov, bro. I'll be real with you, but at least we've got squad competition, I suppose.
No, but what I mean is you're sort of pre-planning from the summer when Stones goes, your guy's already there.
Mm.
He's out. Sometimes, I do think the World Cup's going to be a shit for everyone.
No, it's a good point. If you buy while Stones is already here, clubs won't see that we have a big open gap in that squad, and you want to go play.
I defo back the Mark Way signing 100%, yeah, and he can be the Stones replacement. Yeah, get him in. You could potentially get him in it. I think he's decent, Dave. But even if he just comes in as sort of like a squad rotation player, because I really want to see Gvardiol, Huzanov as our centre backs next year, man. I'll be real with you. Yeah, I think that's top class. Right back. I think
it'll be. Yeah, I think we need 2 midfielders, winger, right back, defender,
and they've all got.
And you'll need a backup goalie.
They've all got to be quality players. This is the thing, man. You can't be buying like no bums and that.
Because we have to kick Ortega out somehow. I don't know what you do with Ortega. You play him on the Sunday League team.
Is his contract up next summer?
Yeah. You either do that or because he's been so damn choosy on where he wants to go at the minute.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's.
He's only got one option. He's only down to Saudi now, where he can go.
I just don't think anyone's bid for him, which is mad. But I just don't think anyone wants him.
No, he wants a particular club because he still thinks he's got a shot at the German number 1.
Yeah. Respect.
Well, someone needs to tell him that then.
If he doesn't play a single game, till January, he's absolutely finished.
Yeah.
Then he's going to have no choice.
His best option to do that was to actually go somewhere in the summer, but
it'll be intriguing on Wednesday if he's on the bench, because I'm presuming Trafford will start. I'm presuming they'll give Donnarumma the full night off.
Yeah,
they'll let Ortega on the bench on Wednesday then.
Ortega on the bench. Trafford should start that game. Yeah, 100%, man.
Because I'm presuming Spike Brits will play Tuesday then, won't he, at Bolton?
Yeah.
Cresco says LB Savinho swap for Yildiz. The problem is with Yildiz is I think we need to prioritise the right wing, if I'm being completely honest with you. And he plays off the left, so...
Is he off the left but right-footed though? I never know anymore.
Yeah, but he's
very two-footed. You can use that.
Yeah, but I think I know we're not going to, right? But I think City should go all out for Elise next summer. And I know we're not going to do it. Yeah, people are like, oh, it's not FIFA, but I think we should go all out.
I'd rather do Musiala, but
well, I don't understand why you'd want Musiala when we've got Foden and Cherky.
Because I think Cherky could be the winger.
I don't know, man. I think Pep wants to play him through the middle, man. Based off the, I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe it'll turn out that he could play on the wing. But at the moment, I still think Pep wants to play
Musiala the 10. Foden is that advanced sort of 8.
How about getting both?
Pep's like for midfielders on the wing. He's obsessed with putting midfielders on a damn wing.
Yeah, I know, but I just think Elise is just like, he's such a pet player as well, man. He can come in and just replicate what Mahrez does.
Foden on the right side, he's not a winger.
What do you say, Joe?
It makes no sense that we weren't involved in that Elise, or at least we weren't serious. I mean, obviously, it might have been a case where he just made it very clear to us very quickly that he was set on Bayern. But for that 35 million release clause, for us not to just do it is...
No, I think it's because we got Savinho cheaper. I honestly, I'm sorry. I just think that's the reason we did it. I think City knew they could get Savinho for 25 and thought, I'll just get Savinho for 25. Obviously, that didn't really work out well, but we should be all over that one, man. I'll be real with you. Julian Alvarez not happy at Atletico, maybe get him back. Yeah, I don't know what's going to go on there, man. But
he's got even more competition for the striker now with Marush.
I
think at least he's not going to go to Liverpool.
Yeah, let's speak on Doku a little bit. I know we spoke about him at the start a little bit, me and Joe, but obviously Danny and Martin didn't really have too much to say. Martin wasn't even here. I've got to say, man, I think these 3 games that he's played this week have probably been his 3 best games, if we're talking 3 games in a row since he's been at the football club. What I'm starting to see from Doku, yeah, is his decision making. I just think is massively improved. Massively improved. I think he's starting to connect with Haaland. Yeah, and this is one, chat. Yeah, that's been one of my main gripes. Yeah, about Doku is his simple inability to connect with Haaland. And I've always said it's not just him; it's a Haaland problem as well. But he's already starting to connect with Haaland. I've got to say as well, I think he's starting to do some of the Jack Grealishy stuff as well, winning free kicks, taking the pressure off us. He did that a few times today, taking the ball up the pitch real quick, getting the pressure away from us. I think that's, some of the positive stuff that Jack Grealish used to do, he's doing today. And, he's getting involved, he's creating chances. And I just think, for me, I think Joey's right, though. It's about consistency. He's had 3 good games here now, but we've got to keep up the pressure on Doku because he's got to keep this up now, for me, consistently. We can't just have these 3 games and then him turn crap again. So for me, I'm looking at Doku. I don't think he should have a single minute against Huddersfield. Yeah, I think he's worked extremely hard this week, but I think, let him have the night off. Put him back in for the Burnley game and say, let's go again. Yeah, but I think we've got to give Doku some praise, man. Danny, what are you saying on Doku? What are your thoughts on him, bro?
Again, just looks a lot more mature in his decision making, like you said. I like the positions he's taking up. He's not just sat on the touchline for 90 minutes, which is great. He's getting involved in the play. Today in the first half, he picked up a ball in midfield, literally center circle of the pitch and sort of took it forward. I don't know if that was a build up to the Rangers chance, but it was just interesting positioning from him. So just again, when you play in the middle, the distance to goal is short. You can get more shots away. You can make more decisive passes. So I think that might be where he's best. So I do like that. We're getting him more involved, and he's getting in the positions where he wants to be more involved. So just keep up the work with that. Keep playing him where he's best suited, and I think we'll continue to get results.
He's definitely better suited. I think the deeper we are on the wings, fine, right? If we're defending deep, but as we go up the pitch in terms of actually trying to score goals and create chances, I think you've got to get Doku in field, man. Again, today there was a couple of times where he was in field. I think that's where he's got to play, and that is. I do think, as David says here, I do think that's more of a Linda's thing. Linda spoke about this in an interview, but he did before he joined the football club.
He's doing what I did with Mane for me.
Yeah, he's turned him into an inside forward as opposed to a winger.
That's why I said if you look what he did with Mane, Firmino, Salah.
Exactly.
That 3 in a very particular style of football. And I think he's not, for me, the biggest thing for Doku, he was so indecisive. You could sort of see it in his play of, do we go right, do we go? He was sort of unsure of what he was going to do. It was like he beat his man, get to the byline and then go, and then question
now
himself.
what?
Yeah, exactly. It was like, all right, what do I do now? And now he's not doing that. He's not thinking about it. He's just doing it. And that comes just from I don't know whether, but last season you had Juan Lilo, etc., who were not coaching these boys anymore. He's now got Pep Linders and Pep's listening to his coaches. Everyone's now working in a unit and they're helping each other on a training pitch. And that's when you get better, is on the training pitch. And that's what it's about, working every single day. And confidence breeds performances. And that's what I'm getting from him. And do you know what I like with Pep at the minute? He's not dropping them out of form. He's actually giving the lads who are in form a run of games.
Well, I think that's what he's got to do. Yeah.
And historically, he's not even been that good against Arsenal. I remember when we lost 1-0 to him a couple of seasons ago.
He never was against, remember Liverpool when he did his sweet chin music, as Sam called it?
Yeah.
It was just like, what are you doing?
I mean, he got totally eaten up by Ben White a couple of years ago. So he's not been historically that good against Arsenal, and Pep's still trusting him. You always have to play the players in form, and they'll keep producing.
Especially, like I've been saying recently, I saw certain players, they can play well, and then Pep could drop them, and they just, next time they come in.
Exactly, and that's the point. This isn't about place feelings anymore.
You can't do that.
If you're not happy being here, not playing, there's the exit door.
Doku's just got to keep playing.
3 years ago.
the thing is, situation with Doku and also O'Reilly, like they're benefactors of like circumstance. There's not really any other option to play in their position right now. But I would argue that when Nuri comes back and when Marmoush comes back, you don't drop either of those two players.
No, exactly. That's what he shouldn't
They've
do.
been excellent.
Well, Doku's had Marmoush's number for 4 or 5 months, mate. Because I tell you what, the Club World Cup, Marmoush wasn't particularly great. Doku was one of our best players in the Club World Cup. And Marmoush has had one decent game, which was the first half against Brighton. And other than that, it's not been particularly great. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I think because
I'd like him to give Haaland a bit of a rest.
Like, well, no. I actually think that's
was the perfect.
Well, if Doku continues like this, I think Marmoush might end up getting his minutes by rotating with Haaland, coming off the last 20 minutes, rotating the lesser games, giving Haaland a bit of a break and that. Because otherwise, I don't know where he's going to play. Because Doku at the moment, on current form, is massively ahead of Marmoush.
Well, it's a good thing because Nori and when did they go to the AFCON? December?
December.
Well, I think it's earlier than usual. I think it's like end of December this year.
It's December. It's like
Nori and Marmoush are going to come back, play about 5 games, and then piss off again.
Yeah, they will. Yeah,
it's going to be like.
I think another thing that's probably helping Doku in sort of getting inside a little bit is that he's playing with Nico rather than Nori, because obviously Nori is being told to sort of move into midfield and take the central positions himself, which has forced Doku to maybe go wider and be the overlapping guy, whereas Nico's very much because he's a left-footed guy who can just go out. We saw towards the end of last season, didn't we? He's quite comfortable running to a byline and hitting a ball back into the box. That means that Doku can move inside and do a bit more of the sort of the central stuff, which is probably where he's getting a bit more involved in goals and stuff. But yeah, as Martin said, it's his decision making that's got a lot better. Like it's the fact that now he feels like he knows what he wants to do when he gets into those positions, and that's been my number one frustration with him for so long. Is that he can beat his fullbacks all day long. Like there's no problem with me backing him to beat as a defender with the ball. It's just the fact that I've got no fucking idea what he'll do after that, and neither does he. And it feels like now he does. He has some kind of, as you said as well, LB, he has some understanding of where Haaland's going to be, where to put the ball so that Haaland can get it. When to maybe just stop and play it backwards rather than just hit a hopeful cross into the centre and just pray for some contact. I just think that if he can keep this up, then great. Like if current Jeremy Doku is what City have for the foreseeable future, then he's easily like a City level starting player, like no doubt about it. It's just that I want to see that over a longer period of time than 1 week
and that is completely fair. Let me ask you a question, Joe, as well. Yeah, do you think that the current way that we're playing a bit deeper, a bit more pragmatic, is also helping Doku because when he's receiving the ball a bit deeper, which gives him the avenue to run in field. Whereas when we're pinning teams in, like last year, but doing fuck all with it, he's already high and wide because obviously he's trying to hold the width. So when he's getting the ball, he's not really got the inside run. He's got to go outside, which isn't working. I actually think that this way of playing is not just benefiting Haaland because obviously he's got grass to run into. I actually think Doku is benefiting because he's getting the ball earlier, which means he can run in field a lot quicker.
It's just it's a really basic and simple thing, but it's just like if you've got a fast player, you have to give them space to run into. Like that, the best way to sort of make use of what they have is to give them a load of fucking give them 20-30 yards ahead of them when they've got the ball. Like and that's been the main thing. That's why it's never really felt like Doku's fully suited what we do for a long time because, like, as you say, we're pinning teams back. We're still playing this, or we have been mostly playing this sort of like control 10 men, like, pushing 10 men behind the ball into their own box kind of stuff. And then you've got some guy whose main threat is that he's really fast. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter how fast you are if you've only got 5 yards to run into.
Yeah.
And then also you're trying to then ask him to. And this has been the thing where, look, I've been really frustrated with his decision making and stuff like that. But there have been plenty of games where you're just asking him to hit a ball into a massively crowded box where it is 10 men behind the ball and expecting him to sort of come up with a goal or an assist. And that is incredibly difficult in that sense. Obviously, there have been plenty of games where he's had all the space in the world to run into and still fucks up the decision making. And that's where my real frustration with him comes in. But this new way of playing is definitely giving him more opportunities to get into those sort of like, oh, you've got the like today, for example, like, oh, you've got the ball. Well, there's the whole Arsenal half to run into. Like, you've got space to go anywhere you want with it, take the man on, and then make the decision from there. And I think he did that quite well. So even if it's just simple things like winning free kicks and taking some pressure off us, like that's what I want to see from a wing, especially a City winger. Like, I want to see, like Grealish, like Mahrez, these players who were great at realizing, right, this game's getting away from us now. I just need to get the ball and win a cheap foul, and then just take the pressure off us for a little bit. And they were both, obviously Grealish was the best at it, but Mahrez was really good at sort of knowing when to do that as well. And if Doku can add that to his game, then that's one of those things that's not reliant on form. That's just knowing when to do that, and hopefully that's just a thing that once you've learned it, there is no unlearning it kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, definitely. Let's see what some of you guys in the chat are saying. Temmie says, get in the box, Doku, terrifying time, play to your strength. Yeah, I think you just need to get him more inverted, man. Absolutely. Can't believe the club didn't start the coaching system last season. Bad club management, says low fat, mole fat. Yeah, I mean,
it feels like the club gave up. If that's the case, that feels like the club just gave up last season. Like that's the thing that could have been fixed relatively mid-season.
The ones they wanted were all in jobs. Carl was down. Pep Linders was already in the job, wasn't he? So they had to.
Also, you don't understand how bad it got until it got bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, for example, what I mean by that is, like Rodri got injured or whatever, right? We lost a couple games, 2-3 games. But if the club would have sacked the fucking staff after 2 or 3 losses when I said we was in crisis, and everyone would have been like, what the fuck is going on? And then you lose 4, you go 5 games, but then when you beat Forest, it's like, oh, 3-0 win against Forest, decent. And then you lose a couple more, and it's only until like you get to the end of the run when you've won 1 game in 14 and you go, fuck me, that was bad. And then actually, in the end, after that, we ended the run and we started getting some wins. And then by that point, you're not going to then change your staff when you get yourself out of it. So, yeah, obviously everything should have just been done in the summer last year.
I think it was like that in the Champions League. I think when they played Real Madrid in that second leg, I think they knew.
Oh, I think
they were like, we're not going any further here. We'll do the token stuff.
With all due respect, as soon as I saw Jack Grealish in the starting 11, I just thought, yeah, Pep just put this off, man, because I just genuinely, bro, I was like, the guy's not kicked a ball for what, 3 months? The guy's not kicked a ball for 3 months, and then all of a sudden starts against Real Madrid, and then in the second leg,
and then he actually played well. He actually played well, and then he got injured.
Yeah, he actually played well for the first 20-30 minutes, and then got injured. Story of Grealish's sort of career, really, but that's
and not only that, the way Pep threw in Kushner. Pep doesn't just chuck a young 19-year-old into the Bernabeu and go, off you go, lad.
For me, it was the second leg when Pep was like, yeah, we're not risking Haaland. He says he's got a little bit of an injury. Yeah. I'm like, bro, if you think you can win this tournament, you'd risk fucking Haaland in that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Champions League
on Thursday night when everyone was like, don't play right. When everyone was
exactly.
On Thursday, he went, balls to this. I'm playing with full 11 guys.
That's why I thought about today as well when I saw the starting 11. Because I think it was after the Napoli game, wasn't it, when Rodri was like, "Look, we're managing my return. Like, we're not going to be stupid and have me play in every game." And I thought, "Oh right, well, so does that mean Rodri's not going to play against Arsenal then?"
Yes.
And obviously he starts, and it's like, right, well, fucking hell, like, well, so much for the I'm not playing every game thing, because I can't see if that's happened.
Mate.
Obviously, he won't play against Huddersfield, but I can't see a single Premier League game that Rodri doesn't
Imagine
start.
if he starts him against Huddersfield. How mad would that be if he started Rodri against Huddersfield, bro? That'd actually be hilarious.
I'll text you when I'm there going, I'll just text you going, you want to see the lineup? And just
no, that would actually be jokes if he started him against that. I wouldn't even take it. Yeah, no worries.
Mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't even take Rodri to Huddersfield, bro. I just completely
no. There's no reason to. I wouldn't start anyone who played today in that game. I don't even know if we have 3 available midfielders to play. But
I tried to put together an 11 with players who didn't play today, and as much as obviously, like, you guys will know more players who might come in from the academy, but all I could get was Trafford, Nunes, Stones, Ake. I think he'll just play Rico at left back because we don't really have anyone else who can play left back. Nico G in midfield, Mukasa obviously coming off the bench. Mukasa who's been on our bench for the last couple of games. Bob right wing, Savio left wing, and then that leaves 1 midfielder and a striker.
Did you have Rico Lewis in there?
Yeah, but I had him at left back.
Oh.
I don't know,
Ake? Where did you have Ake?
Yeah,
Centre-
yeah,
left,
Stones,
left centre back. It's got to be Stones and Ake.
Yeah, Stones, Ake. You can't really play Nico, can you?
This is what I mean. You can either play Rico for the 4th game in a week and a half, or you can just play Rico at left back, which he has done before, and just put him in midfield. Basically, stick him in midfield. Because it is Huddersfield.
Could you put Rico in midfield and put like Mfuni at left back? I don't know if that's like rushing Mfuni into the first team, but that's what I'd do. Would he not just
literally play 3 at the back because it's Huddersfield? Like not even just literally put Rico in midfield.
How I say this, I don't want to get cancelled again. But did what league are Huddersfield in, guys? I know I should know that because I know every single fucking league that every fucking team in the country's in.
Are they not champions?
I think they're in League One right now. Yeah. They would be because they play against someone's academy in the Virtu Trophy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the League One. So we should be 3 at the back should be fine.
League One, yeah.
I think you could put Rico and Nico as the 2 6s in front of that back 3, and that's fine. I think.
What? So Mifune? You won't be on here, will he?
I wouldn't even put him in.
Oh, no,
I wouldn't even.
It was that guy then.
No.
Fulu.
No. What can I put in, lads?
I would personally. I would just play a back 3. I wouldn't even put a 4th defender in.
So you wouldn't put Mifune in.
So I'd put Rico instead of left back, move him into centre mid next to Nico G.
Don't mind
that. Yeah, Nico, I hear it.
Go.
I like it.
So then you've got those 2 there in front of that back 3.
Bob Savino.
Bob Savino, right wing and left wing.
Yeah, I hear it. I agree. Oh, by the way, yeah, fucking Savino, bro. Like, please.
Oh,
I'm getting fucking sweat. Everyone's like, would you still sell fucking Doku over Savino?
Man, that Savio hat trick is gonna hit hard.
Yeah, I know, bro. Savio hat trick against Huddersfield. We will be shameless, chat. Yeah.
No. But then the chat's gonna say, "Oh, he found this level."
Yeah,
this is where it gets difficult. So you've got Mukasa who can come in to one of the midfield spots because he's been on our bench for the last couple of games. So I'm assuming that means that he's presumably ready.
He has
presumably going to come in.
No excuses. He has to start.
What can I put for Mukasa? Is there anyone with a name sounds like Mukasa?
Oh, you can put Mobama in there. It's basically the same thing.
1 sec. I'll see if there's a Mukasa here. McKenna.
That'll do.
That'll do. That's close. In fact, we can change his name. Mukasa. There we go. I didn't know you could do that.
There you go.
Ah, sick. Let's just assume that's what he looks like.
Right,
and then
you are going to get cancelled for
that. So you've got another midfielder and a striker to pluck out the academy from.
I think your midfielder's got to be someone that can create or score.
The only problem is we have is Calvin Phillips fit? That's the only way you could work this. There you go. So our only options are from here: play someone who's played the last week, or we're chucking 2 academy players in there. That's it. Those are our only options.
Or do you play Bob false 9?
But then who plays right wing?
That's what I would do. I'd play Bob false 9, and then it becomes difficult.
It has to be. Then it has to be. It has to be an academy player, or maybe you give Foden 45 minutes in the right wing and stick an academy player on for the next 45. I don't know.
Why did Foden get subbed off there? Why did he get Foden? Was it an injury or what?
I think he's just knackered. To be fair, he's not really properly.
Nah, I probably wouldn't be risking Foden in this game, bro.
I think I'd be shocked if most of that team that started today isn't in the red zone and is in desperate need of a.
That's what I'm saying.
I think we'll get a pep presser in the next couple of days that's similar to the one right before the Bournemouth game where Delap scored, where he says we need to use the academy. We have not a big enough squad with all the injuries.
Was it last season where it was Mabama who came in for a game?
Yeah.
It was class.
But if we had someone like him in the team,
I think they could, because the EDS have 2 very good strikers. They might be willing to send one up and just play the other one.
What about the French geezer?
Yeah, Sangare, that's one of them. You could play Sangare, or you could play Warhurst, and the other one could play the.
Is Sangare the one we got from PSG?
Yeah. Decent on that, doesn't
he? He's very hot and cold. He's had a couple good games. He scored twice against Oldham, didn't he, Joe?
He did. He absolutely battered.
Yeah, he was great against Oldham. I don't know. He's very, very biased to his left foot. I know we just need a warm body, and I don't need to be all tactical here, but he can do a job there. You can be him or it can be Warhurst, either one.
Yeah, basically. But my point is that you are looking at bringing in some academy players into this game because we've got.
Again, it's not totally unheard of. Like the Bournemouth game, he played like Bernabé and Tommy Doyle and all them. And then you remember Klopp back in the day used to send a full academy 11 to these types of games.
Yeah,
He gets slated for it, and then they'd somehow win like 2-1 or something because they'd bring on like Minamino or Salah right at the end.
Yeah, the problem that we got here is, right, we can't take the piss because, and I've said this year, yeah, over the last 4 or 5 years, I've fully understood Pep sacking this competition off. Yeah. And I've never moaned about it. Why? Because I get it. There are bigger fish to fry. And we fried the fish. Yeah. We ate on the best fish. However, I just think that when you're looking at your team and going, we might not win the league this year. We might not win the Champions League. Well, we're probably not going to win the Champions League. We've only won one. I think you have to take this competition a little bit more seriously. You have to respect it a little bit more seriously when you know that like it's going to be tough to win the majors. So you should still be able to beat a League One team with all due respect.
This is the thing. At home against a League One team, eight of your 11 being proper first team players should be enough. And
so we're putting in this here.
It's away though, Joe. It's at.
Is it away?
Is Phillips fit? Shit. He is fit. Should we just fucking full send Calvin Phillips in there?
Sure. If Calvin Phillips is fit, he has to start. I think.
I agree with LB. If we like lose to Villa or lose to Liverpool, I don't want to be like, oh, I really wish we took the Carabao seriously. It's a shame we're not there anymore.
I'm not being funny, right? But that team is more than capable of winning the fucking football match.
It's got.
Let's do the maths, yeah. 30 mil, 50 mil, 50 mil, 40 mil, 50 mil, 40 mil. 25 mil.
Academy. Yeah.
What's that? It's about £400 million worth of player. Isn't it?
Something like that. 300 at least. It's mad.
300 million?
Yeah. No, you have to be winning with that team. You do.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but this guy reckons he's mega. So, you're playing a Huddersfield, you should be absolutely roasting them, bro. Yeah. This guy thinks he's going to Tottenham, bro. £70 million player starting week in, week out because he wants to play for Brazil. So if you're that good, which I think you are, I rate the guy. But if you're that good, go and be cooking on the gas against Huddersfield, bro. That is more than capable of winning.
And the other thing as well is that the weekend after, it's not like we're having this game and then we're going into, I don't know, like Liverpool at Anfield or something. Like if you play well in the Carabao midweek, Burnley the week after, like that is a game where if you are a Savio or a Rico or even a Stones or probably not Stones or Ake, because I think he's probably set on that back line, or a Bob maybe. Like if you have a mint game midweek, you could easily get Pep can easily turn around and go, right, okay, then you've probably earned yourself a start against newly promoted Burnley in the league. Like that should be a level of team where you could be thinking, I want to start that Premier League game, so I'm going to do something midweek that gets me into that. Obviously, if we were playing, like I say, if we were playing against Liverpool at Anfield, you've got no fucking chance because that 11 that we've just seen today is going to be the one that plays at Anfield, if that's the case. Mm-hmm. But Burnley, Savio should be looking at that Burnley game and thinking, I've got to do something against Huddersfield that gets me into that team for the Burnley game. That right wing spot for me is wide open. Like obviously it means that one of Bernardo or Foden is going to be dropped. But, considering we don't have an actual right winger playing out there at the moment, if you're Savio, you've got to be thinking, right, well, I want that to be my spot now. I want to do something that gets me in that team. And probably same for Bob, to be honest.
Yeah. Interesting. I will see what he does on Wednesday. It's going to be interesting. Shout out KP as well. Says, I've been saying for years that Doku's problem was the same as Savio and Haaland when working together. They weren't being coached. And bro, this is I've said this for fucking 2 years as well. You know what I mean about Doku? That even though, I think that I'm not his biggest fan over the last couple of years. I've always said that I don't just think it's a Doku problem. I don't think they were coached properly. Yeah. Whereas now it looks like they are being coached properly. That's why people are asking, is it Linders? Is Linders the one that's coaching them? Because he's come in, he's been speaking about the wingers and getting the wingers more infield. And look what's happening, bro. So, yeah, again,
it's kind of crazy, that, isn't it? isn't that just mad that like we've got players like Savio who came in for their first year at the club, and basically all the coaching staff were just like down tools and just like sacked it off. Like, no
Can you
wonder
imagine,
he looked
can you
like
imagine
so...
being Savio saying, "What is going on here?"
Yeah, what the fuck have I walked into? I've come here to be managed by Pep Guardiola and like join a top Premier League side, coming off the back of 4 titles on the spin, and then this is what it looks like. Like this is how it was run apparently. Like mad. So hopefully, yeah, if Linders is doing some magic with if he's doing some magic with Doku, then hopefully he can do some with Savio as well and actually turn him into this player that he evidently believes that he is and should be.
Can I ask you a question, right, before we wrap up? Yeah. Final sort of like topic before we wrap up is: do you think this squad has a chance at the Champions League? Because obviously we spoke about the Premier League before, and we say we have to win 5 in a row, and we're struggling for consistency. But obviously in the Champions League, it's a one-off game, and if we have all our players in a one-off game and play that defense, you know, Huzanov, Diaz, Gavadio, Donnarumma, goalkeeper, O'Reilly, I don't know, whatever you do, Rodri, Reinders, Foden, Bernardo, Haaland, Doku. Do you think that for one-off matches, you think we have a chance at Champions League? Do you actually think maybe we have a better chance at Champions League or no?
I think this lineup, no, a fully fit lineup, I could make a case for it. But they
in a fully fit lineup, who would have played today in a fully fit lineup?
It's a good question, actually.
Because I think that would be the fully. That's our best 11.
I think this would be it. Yeah, personally,
that's our best 11 today.
Obviously,
we'd have better options off the bench, right? Which is fair.
If you look at our injuries at the moment, it's basically just Phillips,
Nori,
doesn't really count.
Marmoush.
Nori, Cherkeb, Marmoush, and there's a 4th who I can't remember, or 5th, sorry, who I don't know. But yeah,
exactly.
There's none of them get in for me.
You argue Nori, but right now I'd start Nico O'Reilly. So
in that case, they'd have to like maintain this level of defensive focus throughout the whole.
Oh, it's Kovacic, the other one. Sorry.
So it's different. We've seen teams, our own teams, make the Champions League final built on a good defense. It's just, I don't know. O'Reilly and Husanov haven't been there under the bright lights like at Real Madrid. Well, they have, but they haven't done it in like a huge Champions League knockout game. This was just 1-38. So I don't know. We'll see. I have my doubts that I don't think 1 goal in 3 games against Napoli, United, and Arsenal is going to necessarily be the standard for the rest of the season. I think we're going to concede goals here and there. I don't think the defense is going to be as good as it was today every single week. Yeah, so I have my doubts, but
why? Because you don't have the personnel or
the personnel. Yeah, I love O'Reilly. I think he's our best left back at the moment, but I just have a hard time thinking he'll be this good every single week against every single winger.
Yeah, against the elite level, Elise's, Rodrigo.
Husanov will not play 9 out of 10 good every game. If that 4 out of 10 comes against Vinicius Jr.,
this is my problem. I think
Vinicius will score 2 goals, and that's the tie over.
I think even if you look at, I think to be fair, I think having Donnarumma is pretty massive in that sense. Like yeah. I've been well and truly on the sort of the Trafford succession hype train and wanted that to, and I was kind of not really happy with the signing of Donnarumma when it came in because I was a bit like, well, this is a bit, you've just fucking killed Trafford here. But it is impossible, even with the mistake that he made today, which I think his positioning for that goal was shite. It's impossible to ignore the fact that he basically kept us in it for the first 90 odd minutes up until that point.
Class goalkeeper, bro.
He's so fucking good, and I think that having that is huge. Like having I think that defense in this last week has probably gone up a level because they know that what's behind them is solid, and it's not a case of even with Ederson. The comfortability with Ederson came from the fact that they knew that he was on the ball as good as them, and there was no real worry about losing
they knew that they could pass to him no matter what. So so on the ball, they were like, yo, I'm chill. And if I do get in the shit, I can pass the ball to Ederson, no matter how horrendous the situation is, and he'll just deal with it. Now it's like, okay, I probably can't pass to Donnarumma in that situation, so I am just going to have to hoof it. However, I'm not overthinking my defensive actions now because I know that this guy behind me is going to bail me out. I actually think, to be honest with you, right, and I don't know if this is a glaze, maybe the chat can give me their views, yeah. I actually think that there's a little bit too much criticism on the Donnarumma on the Donnarumma positioning. And let me tell you why, Joe. I just think sometimes in football, you just got to go fair fucks. And that ball for Eze was put over there. He's thinking to himself, oh, let me come and get this. And it is inch perfect. And Martinelli's touch and finish was absolutely incredible. And I just think it's just a fucking sick goal. I don't really think there's much he can play. I know he's in no man's land, but I think he's in no man's land because the ball is excellent. So I don't really blame him too much first.
There are absolutely two teams on the football pitch, and that was a good team scoring a good goal.
For me, though, I think that the point is that once that ball comes over and it's clear that your defenders haven't got it, as a keeper, you've either got to do the Ederson thing, which is rush out and meet Martinelli and potentially just wipe him out and take a red card, or you do a normal goalkeeper thing, which is sprint back to your line and make sure that you're in a position to make a save and give Martinelli a decision to make. But instead, what he did was stand in a position that meant Martinelli knew exactly what he had to do the moment he got that. And obviously, it's still difficult for him to pull it off. And I'm not taking any credit. I'm not taking any credit away from the fact that he did it. But as soon as that ball comes over and he sees where Donnarumma's stood, there's only one thing that he knows that he has to do, and it's so easy. And it's just like, I think that's my problem with the positioning that he did, that he just made Martinelli's decision, even if it was still difficult for him to pull it off, it made it so obvious what he had to do to score. And it was a guaranteed goal the moment that he did it, because Donnarumma was never getting anywhere near it. And I think that's my problem with it. It's not, again, he kept us in it for the first, if it wasn't for him, it would probably been like 2-1 down before then anyway. So I'm not bothered. But, it is still, for me, an error of his, even if it was multiple errors that led to it.
I don't know. I think back to the Champions League question, when we were linked to Donnarumma, the whole sort of narrative was, okay, would you send Trafford to the Bernabeu? Would you send Trafford to Anfield? That's sort of how I feel with O'Reilly right now. I feel like you have to have that same conversation. If you're going to have it about Trafford, you kind of have to have that O'Reilly as well.
What games has he played now, Nico O'Reilly?
He's actually played some pretty big games, which is why I'm not super concerned about it.
So when do these players become ready for the Bernabeu if they're never allowed to play at the Bernabeu beforehand? Like, at some point, you have to just accept that you're going to have to give. Like, for example, I was looking at O'Reilly today at the Emirates and thinking, he doesn't look out of place here. Like, he's away at one of the most difficult Big Six teams in the league to play against, given their record against the Big Six, and he played better than anybody else on the pitch. And I'm like, same with like watching Lewis Skelly last season, for example. Like, at some point, you just have to accept that this kid is fucking good, and you don't feel bad about playing him.
And this is why, Joe, I got so fucking bored and depressed last year when people were saying we can't play Echeverry because he's too young, blah 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 blah. And I'm watching my team can't do anything against low block. I'm watching that Southampton game at St Mary's and watch players like a Kanji try and cross a ball in, and I'm sitting there going, I'm being told for the last 4 months that Echeverry's not allowed to play because he's too young. And it's just fucking bullshit. And now I'm watching Ardagula, who granted is a bit older, ball out, and watching Mastan start.
Mastan's thrown a week in, week out for him.
Yeah, I know it's not been like amazing for him, but why is he allowed to start? Why can Mastan start week in, week out for Real Madrid at the Bernabeu under a brand new manager? And this is why I'm like, when people talk about players' ages, it's the most dumb opinion. I just think it's the most dumb opinion in football. I know it's a mad saying, it's a saying that's been said, but if you're good enough, you're old enough. Facts, man.
True, but I don't want to be running these players into the ground. I want them to get.
No, I'm not saying start them week in, week out, but I'm saying like you've got to give them a chance at some point. And like Joe said, the only way you're going to be able to find out if Nico O'Reilly can hack the Bernabeu is by playing him.
By building him up. Building him up. Yeah, Arsenal's a big step. FA Cup final last season, big step. I guess you do throw him in. And again, we made a Champions League final with Zinchenko at left back. So I guess my logic is flawed in that.
And also the alternative is Aït-Nouri, who's never played in the Champions League in his life.
That is fair.
So both of our left back options are not especially great in the sense of like experience side of things. But I
also think as well, right? And this maybe is a bit deep in it, Joe, right? But you have to look at the player and think to yourself, like, what's the player's sort of like personality like? Like, is he someone that flusters a lot? Like, does he get in front of the cameras and he's a bit like, oh shit, like what the fuck? Nico O'Reilly, he's fucking ultra chill. Ultra chill. And I just feel that he's not going to give a fuck. I just think that the guy don't really care. Like, not in like a don't really care way, like as in like I don't really give a fuck. Just sort of like I don't care if I get smoked.
Doesn't phase him. Yeah.
If I get smoked once, who cares? I'll be back on it again. You know what I mean? Some players crumble, don't they? If a player skins them, their head's gone. Like Kirkes, obviously, the other day had an absolute nightmare. Yeah, I ended up getting hooked off after 37 minutes. I don't think Nico O'Reilly's the type of guy where if he gets off to a bad start, goes, oh shit, I'm getting cooked, I'll get cooked. I just don't think he just cares that much. I just think he's just like, I'm a baller, I'll just ball out.
Yeah. No, we certainly saw that kind of mentality in the academy when he played midfield. He, like you said, ultra chill, nonchalant, I think is the word I'd use. He was just calm.
That's what Jerome just said.
The thing is, if he makes like a direct mistake leading to goal, how will that affect him? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, but you know what? I again, this is where I get like, Donnarumma today just cost us a goal, apparently, according to some people. He's a 26-year-old. He's been playing football for 10 years.
He's been there, done that. O'Reilly's not been in the first team for very long. Will that first mistake totally destroy him? That's my one fear. You can't really plan for that, I guess. You can't really say...
but where I get frustrated, bro, yeah, is where, like, if we was just playing Nico O'Reilly, yeah, and he made a mistake at Bernabeu, right? Some, not everyone, but some people go, see, told you can't play Nico O'Reilly. Oh, he's too young, he's not ready. Yeah, but if Diaz does a clanger, what's then? We're going to say, well, Diaz is 27 years old. What about Diaz? Yeah, what about Donnarumma makes a mistake? Yeah, in fact, he actually did make a mistake against Real Madrid, funny enough, when he played for PSG. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was at the Bernabeu when he just passed the ball to fucking Real Madrid players. Like, anybody can make a mistake. For some reason, when a young player makes it, everyone fucking loses their shit and goes, I told you can't play young players. And it's just like, what? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Oh, bro, he was a pretty bad mistake, to be fair. Some guy sent me a Donnarumma, when we were signing him, some guy sent me a Donnarumma fail comp. And it was pretty bad, to be honest with you. But, and he was Danny, you know which one I'm on about, don't you?
Yeah. He passed it right to the attacker. That was.
I think they were 2-0 up as well at the time, weren't they, on aggregate? And they ended up losing.
I think so. I think it was 2-1.
Was it one of the many PSG collapses that they had in that sort of banter run before they actually won the Champions League? Yeah. But
at the same time, we played.
That lost to Real Madrid.
Right on the Nico O'Reilly thing, by the way. Yeah, we play. Obviously, I think we all agree he's now our starting left back for the foreseeable.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've got to play, right? We've got some tests for him now, yeah? We've got to go to Monaco, yeah? Weird gaff. Yeah, I've been there. Weird stadium, weird atmosphere. Yeah.
That stadium's weird. It looks cavernous. It looks gigantic. I can't explain.
Bro, it's a weird gaff.
On TV.
Weird gaff. It's the weirdest stadium I've ever been to. Yeah. Weird gaff. Put him in there. Yeah. Villarreal away. Play him. Get the Champions League experience, yeah. Play him against Dortmund, right? Play him against Liverpool. Play him against Newcastle, right? And so that all those games are before Real Madrid away, and that's a league game anyway. It's a league phase game, yeah. As long as you win your other games, you're chilling anyway.
And the common denominator with all those teams is they actually have pretty good right wingers to go up against them. Yeah. You know, Monaco of Akliouche, Villarreal of Nicolas Pepe, who's kind of having a rejuvenation over there. I don't know who else you mentioned. Newcastle Valanga. Like he will be tested. It's not like he's playing against some bum. Like even if you hate Mbeumo, like saying Mbeumo was bad, he's going to get tested now. We're going to see what he's truly made of, and that's exciting. We'll see what happens with him. Yeah, Newcastle at St. James's Park as well. That's going to be atmosphere. That's probably one of the best.
All those games. All those games, by the way, that you just mentioned. Yeah, I've just mentioned Newcastle. They're all before the Real Madrid away game anyway. So you're gonna have a pretty good idea whether or not the guy does crap in all those big games, and you're probably not going to want to play him at Bernabeu. But if he does well in all those games, why not?
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens in it. But I just think that there's so much more to come from this Manchester City team this season. And when it comes to the league, the question is, will the good stuff come? Will the top Manchester City team arrive before we're out the title race? That's the question. That's the question. Or will we be out the title race by the time? And if so, will we then be good enough to full send the Champions League? I don't know, man. We'll see. Anything else from you boys? Any other topics you wanted to cover?
Nah, I got some good stuff off my chest today, and I feel some closure for the first time all day. I feel like I'm ready to put this behind me. And let's get 2 wins this week, man. Let's beat Huddersfield, let's beat Burnley, and let's keep defending well. Let's keep
That'll be 5 games unbeaten. You know,
That would be 5 games unbeaten, 4 wins and 5, almost 5 wins and 5. But
yeah,
think
who
we
are
just gotta
Arsenal
get
playing
some-
this weekend? Did someone say they've got a tough game?
I know they have Port Vale midweek, but they got Newcastle away, so that
Right,
could be
so they could potentially drop point. And Liverpool have got some dead team.
some team that they'll win in the last.
Liverpool are away at Palace.
They have struggled there, you know, in the past.
Yeah,
Palace,
Cristambul, yeah.
Cristambul. I remember Cristambul, bro. I remember I was watching it in my room, yeah. So that was 2014, was it?
14,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so I was in my
Yeah.
bedroom. This is where I lived at my mum was there, and I was in my bedroom. I had it on my phone. I didn't have a TV in my room at the time. Yeah, I was on my phone on Sky Go, right? And bro, when that third goal went in, yeah, obviously it was a night game, wasn't it? It was a Monday night football thing called Friday. And when that third goal went in, yeah, my mum and dad were asleep, bro, and I went fucking mental, bro. And she was like, "What are you doing, man?" I was like, "Oh, Crystal Palace."
When it was
so fucking sick, bro.
I did. So when I did it, I was living in uni with my housemate who was a Liverpool fan. So obviously that whole season was like very funny when living with a Liverpool fan for a lot of reasons. But that when it came to that game, he was like, right, I'm gonna wait for match of the day. I'm gonna ignore the result. I'm not gonna think about it all day. I'm gonna wait for match of the day. He made it up until literally half an hour before match of the day when he went to Morrison's and someone behind him in the queue mentioned the result and he was fuming. And it was he'd managed to get through the whole time without hearing about it at all. And obviously then we watched it unfold on match of the day. 'Cause he knew what the result was, but he didn't know like how it unfolded. Watched it on match of the day and it was a beautiful experience just watching, you know, the Suarez tears at full time.
I know. It was fucking mega, wasn't it? It was
living-
absolutely incredible.
That season is iconic for so many, obviously the Suarez tears.
Oh, yeah,
the
absolutely.
we don't let this slip. The actual slip that came after that. It was just it's unreal.
You know the biggest mind fuck about that whole few games was that Chelsea match, right? Liverpool didn't even need to win that game.
They just had to draw it.
Yeah. And they full sent it, and they didn't even need to win. They just needed to draw the match.
And then they lost 2-0, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, well, I think it was
Demba Ba
Willian.
Well, Demba Ba scored the famous goal. I can't remember who the other one was.
Yeah, I remember Willian went through on goal.
It was Willian, wasn't it?
Willian went through on goal. No, but then Willian passed it sideways, and then someone.
I'm sure it was Demba Ba again. I could be wrong, but I'm sure he scored twice.
Was it Demba Ba twice? Yeah.
Let's have a look.
It was Willian. It was defo Willian who went through on goal, and then Willian passed it because they were two on one, the goalkeeper, and then Willian passed the ball to whoever scored. It might have been
Willian. It was Willian with the second goal. Yeah.
Willian. Yeah. Oh, so who was it? I wonder who fucking passed it in there. I swear down, someone passed it in, man. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that was the weirdest thing about that game. They didn't even need to win the match. They just needed to draw. They full sent it, man. Yeah, weird.
Oh, it was Fernando Torres who passed it to him because obviously he didn't want to score it himself, did he?
That was the year that Torres missed the open goal against United, wasn't it?
Was that the same year? Yeah.
Taxi for Torres, yeah. Taxi for Torres. That one.
I'm just I'm going to City Ramble. Just said there. Check the starting 11 for that game.
What game?
I have it up.
Chelsea starting 11 for that game.
Oh my god, they had so much Kalash at centre back. What the hell? He never played for them.
Did Maluda play? Was he still there then?
No, Maluda didn't play. It was sure.
So they had so they had Mark Schwarzer in net. As Pilaqueta, Ivanovic, Kalas, Cole, Lampard, Mikel, Matic, Salah, who was not the Salah of now back then, Schürrle and Demba Ba with so on the bench for them was I doesn't say who's on the bench, it just says who came on.
Van Ginkel, mate.
Van Ginkel,
wow.
I remember Van Ginkel.
What a throw. Lewis
Torres.
Baker. Oh my god.
Torres, Cahill, Willian, Lewis Baker, Ake, Hilario, and Van Ginkel was the bench. Jesus, and Liverpool lost a crunch title game to that.
And that's the thing, they didn't even need to go for the win. They should have just sat back and just said, "Go on then, Mourinho, fucking break us down."
Liverpool subbed on Iago Aspas. Now that's a name.
Aspas, yeah.
Luis Alberto, legend. Well. Yeah.
No way. That's mad. Actually, how that was over 10 years ago, isn't it?
It's crazy that.
I love talking about games from like 10 years ago. That was peak football for me. They don't make it like they used to.
That's to be fair though. When you look at that starting 11, right, from Liverpool, so they had Mamadou Sakho, Skirtle, Flanagan, and Glenn Johnson was their back four. Like it's probably no wonder they just went full on attack, because there was no way if they were playing a defensive game
That
they
is
would have.
hanging.
That is grim.
I
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they used to hype up Flanagan was too funny.
And,
man.
and in
Like,
midfield, they have Joe Allen and Lucas Leiva. Like we almost let that team win a league.
That would have been disgusting if that team won a league. That could have been one of the worst Premier League winning sides of all time, bro.
Yeah, I mean you compare that to what we had: Fernandinho, David Silva. It was our other midfielder at the time. So yeah, of course, yeah.
That was peak Yaya that season.
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
yes. That's when he scored like all of his free kicks and didn't win Player of the Year.
Newcastle, Aston Villa, them ones. Yeah,
I think they just got carried by Suarez and Co, didn't they?
It was Suarez, Sturridge, and Sterling did like all of that for them, didn't they?
Oh, Sturridge. I miss Sturridge. I miss his Trivela goals, man. And then Suarez that year, he won Golden Boot.
He was a cold finisher, Sturridge. He was a very cold finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, mad. How did we get onto this topic again? Crystal Palace. Liverpool got Crystal Palace.
Palace.
Yeah, Istanbul.
Easy 4-0 win for Liverpool next week then.
Yeah. So who are Arsenal playing? Sorry,
Newcastle away.
Newcastle.
Oh, they struggle there as well, don't they?
They do struggle there.
They struggle there as well. Yeah, I tell you what, if Newcastle could win that game, and then maybe Liverpool get a draw, and then we win.
Then you're kind of back in it.
We're like, okay, yeah. Q City get beat off Burnley.
Oh my god!
What? Like George Boyd in 2015. I remember that.
Yeah, that was a madness. All right, then, boys. Sweet man. Big up to everybody in the chat. Do me a favor, smash the likes on the stream. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. with Nobbins to chat about the game from a tactical point of view as well. That should be an interesting show. Make sure you guys get on that one. 11 a.m. should be very interesting considering how we played. And then I'm back as well, 9 p.m. with Hugh and Amos, man. So yeah, we'll see what's going on there, man. But big up to everybody, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys are subbing up to the lads. All the links are in the description. City Ramble, Not in My Lifetime, J Talk Sport. Get yourselves on it. Links are in description. I'll speak to Steve. Steve fell asleep. And Pulpy's back from holiday, so maybe I'll catch up with Steve on Pulpy maybe on later on in the week or something. Yeah, get them lads on and see what they're saying. But big up to everybody, man. Smash the likes, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.